What's up, everybody? Good morning and a happy Monday to you all. DK Show coming to you from the TDS Sports Talk Studios this morning. Appreciate you making us a part of your start if you are already up and at it, whether you are listening on the radio dials, 105.1 FM, 790 AM, online at our website, sportstalk1051.com. You got the app, Wisco Sports App. Download that, take it on the go. Your Alexa devices, smart speakers, and, of course, the video stream that is rocking and rolling on YouTube right now. But, again, hopefully you had an awesome weekend. Hopefully you're able to stay cool, and hopefully you will be able to stay cool for the rest of the week here. But what do we have on our game plan for us this morning? Well, Brewers not able to get to 60 wins as they were swept by the Pittsburgh Pirates in their 3-game series over the weekend. So Brewers one win off. It feels like, I don't know, it just feels like it's always the Pirates right before the All-Star break or whatever. But Brewers, if you're looking at where things kind of stand right now, 59-37. Heading into that All-Star break, they are 5 games ahead of the Chicago Cubs. For first place in the NL Central, the Brewers still with the second most wins across Major League Baseball, only behind the Dodgers. Dodgers, the only team with 60 or more wins. They are 61-36 on the season. But Brewers over the weekend, too, maybe some concern when it comes to pitching a little bit. Kyle Harrison was placed on the injured list with left forearm discomfort. Jacob Mizorowski was scratched from his start yesterday, as the team is calling it fatigue. But it sounds like he won't even pitch in the first series coming out of the All-Star break when they return home on Friday to take on the Marlins. So with all that being said, since we are now into the All-Star break, question that we're going to throw out to all of you experts and such. What do you think are the biggest questions surrounding the Brewers now that we are heading into this All-Star break, or we are into this All-Star break? What do you think are the biggest questions, maybe the biggest concerns, areas that maybe you feel like the Brewers need to address before that trade deadline, which is going to be here before you know it. It's only just a couple weeks away, beginning of August. Would imagine a lot of these teams are going to be kind of sitting down and maybe figuring out what the game plan is going to be for them going forward here, if they are going to be making some moves and that before the All-Star break, or before the trade deadline, excuse me. So, but what do you think? All right, we want your opinion. Hit us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912, or you can join in on the Section 105 chats on our video stream too. Brewers, just think about this, just 66 games left of the regular season here for the crew. So plenty of baseball chat coming your way. Plenty of Brewers chats coming your way. We have a little bit of some Bucks chat here too, because some drama on Friday reportedly. Tyler Hero getting slugged by his former teammate Bam Adebayo in Vegas during Summer League. So I got that going on. Gary Trent Jr., I haven't seen too many Bucks fans maybe excited for this contract, but a 4-year, $64 million deal to return to the Milwaukee Bucks. So Bucks fans, Hoops fans, what are your thoughts on maybe that move? We'll throw a little football chat in here too as we continue our Packers training camp countdown, as training camp's going to be opening up here in just a couple of weeks for the Pack. A couple of weeks from this Wednesday, I believe. Will be 2 weeks from this Wednesday will be the first practice. So we'll continue our top storylines and all that as we head into training camp. Also on the docket for us this morning, we'll do a little best and worst from the weekend. So best and worst, our VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. You can participate by letting us know what was the best and what was the worst. Also, we'll do a little Monday morning, little chat GPT. We've got Justice Cleveland coming up in the 9 o'clock hour for our local sports roundup, brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. The Express also back in action after their All-Star break, and they continue to roll right along. They picked up 3 wins this past weekend, sweeping Thunder Bay and then picking up a win against La Crosse last night. So the Express currently are on a 6-game winning streak, and they are just a half game out of first place in their division. So, but we'll recap all that, and I know we had some Legion baseball going on too when we get to our local sports roundup a little bit later on in the program. So, but that's kind of your game plan for us here this morning. Let's open it up talking some Brewers. Not probably the finish to heading into the All-Star break that a lot of Brewers fans were hoping to see, but Brewers dropping all 3 games against the Pirates, a doubleheader on Saturday, and then yesterday's series finale, Brewers dropping all 3. Harrison now on the injured list. We got Jacob Mizorowski dealing with some fatigue. Any concerns with the pitching going forward? And let us know what you think are the biggest questions surrounding the Brewers heading into the break. Maybe questions that you think, too, that they need to address by the trade deadline, or maybe they're questions that not necessarily are going to be addressed by the trading deadline. So let us know. All right, again, hit us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912. Or again on the Section 105 chats on the video stream. We got Justin joining us here in just a bit too. So let's take our first break, and we'll get things going here on the leadoff, talking some Brewers to open up things here this morning. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. Believe it or not, hunting season preparation starts right now, and there is no better place to gear up than Tilden Gun in Chippewa Falls. Whether you are looking to upgrade your deer rifle, pick up a new turkey gun, or add a dependable shotgun for traps, sporting clays, or target shooting, Tilden Gun has a wide selection of firearms from the brands that you know and trust. Their knowledgeable staff can help you find the perfect fit for your hunting style, experience level, and budget. Plus, you'll find ammo, accessories, optics, and more to help you get the most out of every trip to the range or into the field. Don't wait until the season is right around the corner. Get prepared now and shoot with confidence later. Stop by Tilden Gun in Chippewa Falls and see why sportsmen and shooting enthusiasts throughout the Chippewa Valley trust Tilden Gun for all of their firearm needs. Well, first of all, let's say good morning to Justin. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Did you have a good weekend?
Good enough with the Brewers getting swept.
Yeah. But it's like the Pirates. I feel like it feels like it's been the Pirates right before the All-Star break. I don't know if I was still stuck on a few years ago when it was like a 5-game sweep for the Pirates over the Brewers right before the All-Star break too. But we got plenty of baseball talk with the Brewers coming your way here. Let's just kind of do a quick recap, as painful as it might be from this past weekend. But Friday obviously was rained out, so we had a doubleheader on Saturday. So let's play two, as they like to say. But the Brewers falling in that first one, 7-6. Pirates jumped out to an early lead, but the Brewers were able to tie it up in the second. Pirates taking another run, and Brewers taking a lead and maybe looking like they're going to get it done. I mean, come on, when you get a Sal Frelick home run in a game, you should be able to win that game. I'm just saying. But that bottom of the seventh inning was the bugaboo for the Brewers, giving up 4 earned runs. Aaron Ashby not on his A game, getting charged with the loss, giving up 3 earned runs. So Brewers falling by 1, a 7-6 loss for the Brewers in Game 1. Game 2, it was close again. Pirates jumped out to a lead 2-0 through 4, but the Brewers were able to tie it right back up in the top frame of the 5th. But Pirates able to get one more, and that was good enough for the Pirates to pick up a 3-2 victory. Shane Drowan went 6 1/3, giving up just 3 earned runs. Did have 6 strikeouts, no walks. Gave up a home run as well. But Brewers not able to score more than just a couple of runs to help Shane Drowan get that victory. And then, yesterday was just kind of a mess. So it was supposed to be Mizorowski versus Paul Skeens. Mizorowski was scratched due to what they are calling arm fatigue. It sounds like, too, that he won't even pitch in the first series back for the Brewers. So something to kind of monitor there. But Pirates jumped out to an early 4-0 lead. Brewers were able to cut it in half in the top of the 4th, but that bottom frame of the 4th inning is one to forget, as the Pirates were able to put up a whopping 10 runs. 10 runs in the bottom of that frame. Robert Gasser was coming off of a really good performance in his previous starts, only going 3 innings and giving up 7 earned runs, including a couple of dingers. So after that, it was just kind of like, let's get through this game and just maybe get to the break here. So Brewers not able to get to that 60-win mark. They will finish the half before the All-Star break, because it's not necessarily mathematically halfway through the season, but the Brewers will enter the All-Star break with a 59-37 record. So we are asking, what are some of the biggest question marks, maybe some of the biggest concerns, or the biggest things that you think the Brewers need to address heading into this break, or something that they need to figure out? You can let us know with your picks, with your thoughts at on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, 715-830-1912. What is one of the biggest areas or questions you think, Justin, that the Brewers need to address during this break?
For me, pitching depth.
Yeah.
Whether that's bullpen arms or another starter, and I don't even think you need to go against Skubal like everybody wants. I'd be fine with like Joe Ryan, or I don't think the Red Sox will deal with us again, but Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
I continuously said it.
Yeah. Yeah, pitching, does that also because of the injuries to like Brandon Woodruff, and now you got Kyle Harrison on the injury list. Hopefully it's not a long stint. I mean, fatigue with Jacob Mizorowski. Does that, with those last week or so with all of those news, is that what kind of maybe umped it up a little bit in terms of the importance, and maybe just because they're really young now without Brandon Woodruff with their starting rotation?
Yeah, I mean, you want experience, especially if this team wants to make a playoff run. So you want playoff experience if possible, but just some more experience to that rotation, and somebody that's a little bit older that knows the league a little bit more would be really nice.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at, it's kind of a tale of two different tapes here. I mean, taking 4 out of 5 against the Cardinals, which was awesome. I mean, for a 5-game series to take 4 out of 5 was great, but then leaves kind of a sour taste in your mouth when you get swept by the Pirates heading into the All-Star break. So, but it seems like, I don't know, it just seems like maybe the break is coming at the right time for this team, especially if Mizorowski is dealing with a little bit of fatigue, and then Kyle Harrison on that 15-day injury list. I know Brandon Woodruff was placed on the 60-day injury list, but they're saying they still don't have any final answers or anything like that. They're still waiting some of the results, and that's from his second opinion. But I don't know. It sure seems like the All-Star break is at a good time for this team to just maybe get away and just kind of maybe relax a little bit here and freshen up for the final 66 games.
Well, 100%. And I think I saw a stat. It was in the last 35 or 36 days, this team has had, I think, 4 days of rest.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also, but you throw on top of that 2 doubleheaders.
Yeah.
So I think this team, I know people might overreact to the Pirates series, but this team was playing on virtually no rest. I know they had that off day, but then a doubleheader. So I think this team just needs a break, needs to get away for a little bit, and I think they can come back looking better. Now, what the pitching looks like coming out of the All-Star break, I have no idea for that first series, but
right.
I guess we'll find out.
You got to go back to, looking at that schedule. If we go back to June 12th, all right, when they began that series against the Phillies, they had only 2 built-in off days, and then they get one with Friday's, rain delay, but then you put the doubleheader in there. I mean, you're talking about practically a month with just 3 days off, but then you, as you said, you mix in a couple double headers in that stretch too. I don't care what people think. That's a lot of baseball. That's a lot of innings being played. And I know position players were getting some rest and bullpen that, but that's still a lot. Oh, and then you factor in the traveling. I mean, not even off days for getaway days, right? I mean, there wasn't a ton of that action in there too. So I mean, this just looks like a tired group. And looking at the upcoming schedule, just to kind of forecast it here, I mean, at least they get kind of Thursday the 23rd, the 30th. They get some off days in there, but then there's going to be another big stretch, August 1st through the 16th. No off days in there either. So, but yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I don't want to overreact to just. I don't want to overreact to this series. It stinks. It's a little bit of a bummer. I think it would have been cool to get to the 60 win mark. Join the Dodgers as the only team, but to me, that one of my biggest questions that this team needs to address in the break is the health. And can they stay healthy, especially when it comes to the pitchers? Can they hold up? And when they get to the postseason, if they get to the postseason, but I'm going to say when they get to the postseason, are they going to be freshened up? Are they going to be good to go? Or is there going to be a lot of wear and tear on some of those younger arms? I'd be curious how the Brewers are going to kind of manage that. Do they go to a 6-man rotation maybe in the final 66 to try to prolong it so they can get a little bit healthier? But this team's got to hold up, especially when it comes to the pitching department. So that's one of my biggest questions. We got a couple of texts here. We've got Steve says that getting swept in baseball is like three-putting in golf. It should not ever happen. Rando says the Brewers need pitchers and somebody that can help put runs on the board. C-Bomb says it is like an actual marathon run. It's one thing to get to that 13.1 minute mark at your PR pace, but the last fifth of that marathon shows what you're really made of. I think that's how this team looks. The crew are crushing it, but they're going to need that boost in the arm to get through the last fifth and through the playoffs. They need another solid starter, and one more bats with some pop might not hurt. What about the rest of you? Let us know. Hit us up. We want to hear from you. 715-830-1912. So let's take a quick break. We'll continue to talk some more Brewers. Continue to send us your biggest question marks, your biggest concerns, or what you think the Brewers need to figure out or address this week, this All-Star break week, as we get set for the final 66 games. When you say 66 games, it doesn't seem like there's that many left, right? It's going to go quick.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe that we're almost 100 games into the season.
Right. Exactly. So, all right, quick break. And we'll be right back to talk some more baseball after these few words. Summer is the season for golf, softball, pickleball, baseball, running, and, well, staying active. But aches and pains, they can quickly slow you down. That's where Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine comes on in. Their experienced team helps weekend warriors and athletes of all ages get back to doing what they love with expert care and treatment options designed to keep you moving. Play more, hurt less. That's Chippewa Valley Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. So we've got, since it is All-Star break in that, we've got Home Run Derby. Justin, you being a baseball guy, Home Run Derby, is that something that you're geeked up about tonight or paying attention to, or not really?
I'll watch it for sure.
Yeah.
Probably with some friends.
Yeah.
You know, I'm excited to see Caminero and Murakami. Really, honestly, those two they're fun to watch. Even Jordan Walker, even though he's a rival.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. Should be a fun derby.
What do you think about Bryce Harper's idea that maybe metal bats for like that final ball, that gold ball that he was talking a little bit about last week?
I mean, I'd like it some way to kind of mix it up a little bit and see the metal bats in action again. I mean,
try to get a ball literally out of a stadium.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be kind of cool to actually see if that could tattoo one way out of that ballpark.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't have to worry about the BP pitcher's protected by net, so middles. I would think they'd be safe, but
I'd still be terrified though.
Yeah, because that thing is going to be cruising off that. So, I'm not sure. Yeah, before you're off here around 8, I'll ask you for your prediction for the Home Run Derby tonight. So, you got to think about it a little bit. Going with, I don't know who the odds-on favorite is, but I wonder if it's going to be like a Schwarber or Harper. I mean, it's their ballpark and that. But figure 1 or 2, just because Mizorowski did not pitch yesterday. He is not pitching in the All-Star game. But Sanchez is getting the start, which I don't think is a big surprise to anybody. So, but in terms of, so we've had, people kind of throwing in bat. Brewers need that bat. They got to figure that out. They got to figure out who they're going to go get. Whether it's another bullpen arm or a starter, and all that. But how important do you think it is? Is it still incredibly important? You mentioned pitching in that, Justin. Is another bat like right there? Is it still bullpen? Do you load up on just as many pitchers, and do you roll with what you have on the offensive side of things? I mean, how much should Matt Arnold and this front office really try to figure out and look at that market to try to find another player? I thought it was interesting. I think it was Kurt Hogg over the weekend too, had said that Jet Williams is dealing with an injury. Otherwise, he would have been called up. If he hadn't been, let me see. I think it was a minor injury. Let me double check here. But Kurt Hogg, who was it? Kurt Hogg? That. Yes, maybe. Yes, here it was. He said Jet Williams has a minor wrist injury. Otherwise, he would have likely been called up. So, kind of interesting. I don't know if that meant he would have been called up over Luis Lara, if that's kind of what they were referring to, because David Hamilton is on the injured list.
Sorry, when did he post that?
20 hours ago.
That might have been for yesterday. Since they traded for.
Oh, yeah.
What was his? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, from the Astros.
Yeah, that. But I don't think Jet Williams is on the 40 man, so that is definitely news to me.
Yeah. So, but maybe sooner rather than later, potentially down the line. So, but okay, going back to the question at hand here, how would you still like to see them add a power bat? Do you think? Is it a promotion of Jet Williams when he is healthy?
Power bat, I'd still like to see. Maybe that just is the promotion of Jet Williams. But honestly, for me, adding a bat right now is secondary to pitching. I mean, I don't know if people have noticed, but I want to give credit where it's due to both Joey Ortiz and Cooper Pratt. They've both been on a roll the last 7 games, both hitting about 350. I mean, yeah, the power's not there, but Ortiz also missed a home run by inches on, what was that, Saturday's game? So, I mean, I'd like to see a power bat, but I want to give credit to where it's due. The left side of the infield is at least stepping up over the last road trip. Now, whether it is sustainable, we'll find out. But I still think pitching should be the primary focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A couple more texts coming in here. Dave says it should be starting pitching. It's not going to be Skubal, but I would like to see maybe another veteran and then plus bullpen player. And then Tim also saying pitching is priority one right now for the Brewers. Another message in here says, Joe, you might want to stay cool going fishing and listening to the show. Of course, stay cool out there, Joe. Fishermen don't say where they're going, so I'm not even going to put you in a spot and ask you that. So, yeah, so we got a couple more texts in here saying would like to see them get a power bat, but I don't think there's going to be one available that would be a huge upgrade for the Brewers. So I say load up on some pitchers. And because you can't count on every pitcher to be healthy for the rest of the season and into the postseason, says Jeremy. So, I mean, odds are there's probably going to be, some more injuries. I hope the Miz one doesn't develop into something with fatigue. I know they're kind of downplaying it and fatigue, and I think everybody is just worried about it. It's not maybe worried about, but they're almost waiting to see when it happens. When the arm goes or Tommy John, it's just feels like that's almost a rite of passage for every pitcher in Major League Baseball. So I hope this doesn't develop into anything. I hope the Kyle Harrison thing isn't serious. I know they downplayed it last week too, saying All-Star break's coming at the right time, but now you got discomfort in the forearm and on the injured list. So hopefully that's not a long stint out there. But yeah, those are the two right now with no Brandon Woodruff. You're talking about your top three starters a little bit banged up is, to me, a big concern now going forward.
100%. The good thing about Harrison's, I heard it was on like the outside of his elbow, not the inside. So that's at least, it's not great to hear. But I feel like, with Mizrowski, throws 105. So, we all know that eventually you think something's going to happen. But, I mean, yeah, and I feel like the Woodruff thing has scarred us. We hear about somebody with fatigue, and then it's a 60-day trip to the IL, at least for him. So I'm hoping that Mizrowski just uses this to heal up, get better, and hopefully we can see Harrison come back as soon as possible as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm not I know it's not a for certain, and I know we talked to Dr. Crow on Friday about Woodruff's injury and, not trying to be Debbie Downer. I still don't feel great about him being back this year. If maybe he's back, maybe it's by the postseason, and hey, maybe if we could just get a couple games out of him in the postseason. I mean, that's not to be a jerk or anything, but that kind of seems like that's maybe his max at this point is just a couple more games each time. And I worry about his career. It stinks for a guy like Brandon Woodruff, and I think the frustrating part for him, and I think for fans too, is that when he has been out there and healthy, he's looked really good, right? I mean, he's looked sharp. You just can't count on him, and until they can. And I honestly feel like if he wants to continue to play, I don't know if it's going to be in a Brewers uniform anymore going forward. And I don't know how many teams would give him an opportunity to be a pitcher, or at least not for a lot of money, right? You can't.
Definitely not. And that's the thing. I mean, it sucks. I mean, there might be a team that's willing to go out and get him, but I don't think the Brewers can take that chance. We already know they don't like to spend a lot of money, and I think with every dollar they spend, on players, they want to see them perform, and not having him on the field as much as this season, I think that's kind of the end probably of him in a Brewers uniform. I do hope, though, if he comes back for the postseason, we can either use him as a bullpen arm or even maybe like a 3-4 inning opener for some of those teams. Mm-hmm. Somebody to get you a good start, get you the lead, and then you turn the game over to the bullpen.
Mm-hmm. Tim in the Cooley region says, number 1, get healthy. Number 2, starting pitchers. And number 3, improve with your runners in scoring position. I feel like that is also a rite of passage the last few years when it comes to Brewers is RISP, runners in scoring position. Let's continue some more baseball talk. If you want, please let us know what your predictions are for the home run derby. If you want to make a pick, you can send them on over. And how much will you be paying attention? Is that something you still get excited to watch? Is that something that you still maybe pay attention to? Hey, it's going to be really hot, and you might be staying inside tonight. So maybe like, yeah, I'm got nothing else going on, so I might as well watch the home run derby. So let us know. Hit us up, 715-830-1912. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back, actually, to wrap up the first hour because we are cruising through this Monday morning of July 13th. We'll be back after these few words. Coming up on Wednesday, it is the official 715 day being held at the Brewing Project. It is free to attend starting at 5 p.m. We've got food trucks, local vendors, prizes, and more. And a portion of Their sales of their 715 Shandy will go to local animal shelters. So come grab a beverage to support the furry friends in need while celebrating the 715. The official 715 Day in Wisconsin is a celebration of everything that makes our community and a greater 715 area special. So come support your neighbors, discover some new businesses, and be a part of a growing tradition in the heart of Wisconsin. We've got food trucks and food from Smack Daddy's, Roll and Smoke, Big Ash Pizza, Bee's Knees, Chip Magnet, and egg rolls and more. So should be a fun night for 715 Day coming up in just a couple days on Wednesday. It's going to be a busy week. We got that. We've got our next tailgate Thursday for the Express game coming up on, this Thursday, July 16th. We're going to be tailgating starting around 4 p.m. right next to the Hank Aaron statue. So grab your tickets. To the game, but also hang out with us with some games, some free samples of their Legends beer. Bring the kiddos with, too, because the card collecting club is going to be there hanging out with us and going to be handing out some free cards to the kids. So that'll be happening this Thursday, July 16th. Should be a lot of fun. But speaking of the Express, too, they're playing some really good baseball, 6-game winning streak. Good weekend for them, sweeping Thunder Bay and then picking up a win against La Crosse yesterday. They're going to be against La Crosse again tonight in La Crosse. And then you're kind of looking at the rest of their schedule. They've got Minnesota coming up on Tuesday, an off day on Wednesday, and then back at it Thursday, and then another off day. Might not be bad for this week to have a couple off days with the heat going on for the Express. So far they're playing some really, really good baseball. And I know if you go to the Express Facebook page, some alum got drafted because it was the MLB draft this past weekend. So if you kind of want to see some of the names, you're like, oh man, I recognize him. Like Dylan O'Connell, he got drafted by the Athletics. We've got, Cole Selvig was drafted by the Miami Marlins. So always cool to see some former Express players getting drafted. I know we had some local kids, too, getting drafted, but we'll hit that up in our local sports roundup brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. So wrapping up the first hour, talking some baseball, and, we're getting closer to the trade deadline. Is there, from a position player standpoint, has there been a name that you have seen that's possibly being floated out there as available that you think would be a good fit for the Brewers? I mean, because I think if you ask a lot of people, it's still probably third base. You're looking for a power hitter, slugging hitter at third base. Has there been really a name out there yet for the Brewers? It's not like last year where, Suarez was available and, he ended up going to the Mariners and that. But there's guys being thrown out there. But I guess my question would be, are they big-time upgrades to what they currently have at this point?
I mean, it doesn't feel like it. There doesn't seem to be a lot of, availability. Isaac Paredes is a name. I haven't seen much that Houston might move him, but there's the possibility with where they are in the standings. There's also the chance that they move Jeremy Pena, but if you're going for a power bat, Paredes is the one that you want. Mm-hmm. But I mean, looking through it, there's not a lot that I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I think also part of it is the standings, at least in the AL, are so close together.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be 3 games under 500 and only a game out of the wild card.
Yep.
That might stop a lot of people from trading away stuff. But, I mean, there is also the chance that you shift around the infield a bit. You can get Luis Arias from the Giants, and I think he's played a little bit of third in his career. So, but again, that's not adding a power bat. That's only adding a contact hitter. So it doesn't really do much for you, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, if the biggest area that you want to address is power, home runs, none of those names kind of fit that bill, right? I mean, Luis would be nice for on base and that. I don't know if maybe just because he hits, maybe it helps the runners in scoring position numbers. I know you had the splits up there with that, but just to kind of put it in perspective, where are they at with runners in scoring position?
They're fifth in average. I think actually after the last 2 legs of this road trip, I think they went up a little bit, but I cannot be for sure.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So maybe just it's one of those that when you have a few games, it probably gets heightened a little bit more, right? When we see these games and they're struggling, and they were, there was a few games where they could not manufacture a run. They could not get a run across the board. So I think that gets heightened when you're losing those games, when you have opportunities to do so. And it's been an issue that the Brewers have had for the last few years at certain points. So I think that's always kind of at the top of the mind. And especially when you don't have a power bat, right? It's going to get a little bit more magnified if you're struggling to get those runs across when you don't have a couple consistent power bats in that lineup. Minnesota is actually number 1.
Yeah, I think that's probably where a lot of their wins are coming from. They're just really good with runners on, at least getting hits. I mean, if you look at RBIs, Brewers are first in RBIs with runners in scoring position.
Interesting. All right.
And first in walks. Clearly doing something right.
But they're not doing it the way they're supposed to, right? Analytics says you can't do it this way. I think there was I don't know where they're at now, but this was a statistic from last week. Let me see if I saved it. But there would have been no team. Let me see if I saved it. There was no team. Oh, nope, I don't have it. No, I don't have it. But it was something about no team has been under. Oh, yeah, it was under 400 slugging percentage and averaged over 5 runs per game. But the Brewers were doing it. And they would be the first one to do it.
I feel
surprise
like
anybody?
No, I feel like this team, basically the last few years, especially with Murphy in charge, is just defying analytics. I mean, but Murphy takes those approaches, trying to hit righty, lefty stuff, or pitch the same side and hit reverse. But I mean, that's hilarious that this team just defies analytics at the same time.
And that goes, I think, back to the question that everybody threw out there last year, and it's going to happen again this year the closer we get to the postseason. Does that style win in the postseason? Does that style of going against analytics, or whatever you want to call it for the Brewers, a small ball, however you want to phrase it, Brewer ball, Murphy ball, does that win in the postseason? Last year it won them a series, but then not after that. Can it win you a championship? That's going to be the question until they actually win a championship, right? I mean, that's going to be the main question. And I guess we're just kind of wait and see. Do you think it can, though?
I think it can. I'm hoping that maybe just the team's really young, and hopefully maybe just the lights were a little too bright last year, and hopefully this year with that extra experience, it adds an extra layer to them, an extra, knowing what it feels like to lose in the NLCS and in those win or go home games. Hopefully that kind of gives them an extra something this year. And there's also the chance that maybe you get lucky and another team knocks off the Dodgers so you don't have to face them.
Yeah.
And if people would call that a Mickey Mouse ring or an easy path, I don't care.
Play who you have to play, right?
Yep. Championship shows up the same at the end of the year anyways. So.
Yep. Rings aren't any smaller. There's no asterisks next to it or nothing.
If anything,
I won't apologize for it.
If anything, they get bigger every year.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of cool. I would imagine. I'd be curious to know how the Brewers would design a World Series ring.
Hopefully we'll find out.
You have to have like a bottle opener on that thing for a little celebratory beer or something.
You know how teams do like the rings they open and it's got the stadium inside? Instead, it's just a bottle opener for the Brewers.
That'd be sweet.
I would love it.
Right? I mean, that'd be fitting. It'd be perfect.
Well, then you could also, next year you could do a replica ring giveaway and just make sure they detach the same way with the bottle opener in there.
Was it the Rams are doing that, I think, this year for their Super Bowl from a few years ago? I think it was the Rams.
I know the Brewers did one. I think it was for the 82 AL championship ring. I think they did a recent giveaway like in the last 2-3 years. Yeah,
the Rams are doing for week 6 a anniversary ring giveaway. How many was it? Like 60,000 to honor the 5th anniversary of the championship season. The Rams are celebrating the achievement by giving the first 60,000 fans who attend the week 6 game against the Cardinals a replica of their Super Bowl ring. So I don't. Yeah, that's pretty gaudy. I do have a replica Bucks one that our friend G-Man sent over and that's pretty big too. So,
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, it is like you said though. It is kind of funny to look it does get bigger and bigger and bigger. How big can you actually go with these things?
Yeah.
I remember Mark Cuban when the Mavericks won their title a while ago. He threw out the idea to the players about bracelets, and the players were like, no, we're getting rings.
It's always rings.
Yeah,
it's always going to be.
yeah. Until somebody changes it and sets a new trend, maybe. But yeah, it's always going to be rings. So, no, here's a good point from Seabaum making a football comparison. Did it matter that the Packers didn't play Dallas to win the Super Bowl in '96? Beat whoever's in front of you. But boy, it would be nice to beat the pants off the Dodgers in the playoffs. Hey, they would have earned it. Right? It would be nice. But yeah, that's a good point. Did they have to beat that? Nope. Dallas. Was that the year, Seabaum, correct me if I'm wrong, if I remember, didn't Carolina upset Dallas, I think, in those playoffs? And yeah, Green Bay obviously played Carolina in the NFC Championship game, but I think Carolina beat Dallas if my memory's right. I was 10 at that time. Was it? I know. Yeah. Okay. Carolina did beat Dallas. All right. Still remember that almost 30 years ago at this point.
Oh, Dallas smoked Minnesota 40-15 in the first round. Sorry, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm. Well, they were the defending champs that year. But all right, we only got a couple minutes left, so don't forget it is a VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. What was the best and what was the worst from the weekend? You can let us know and share it with the rest of the class. Okay. Also, we'll talk some football coming up a little bit later on. We do have some hoops chats. We have some Bucks news and Nuggets. Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. I don't think they'll be exchanging any pleasantries in the near future. Gary Trent Jr. signing a fairly sizable deal to return to the Bucks, which I think has a lot of Bucks fans maybe kind of scratching their head. But we have summer league going on, so a first glimpse of some of these rookies for the Bucks too. Speaking of rookies, we've got some Brewers rookies now too, a draft class from this past weekend. We'll kind of run through that too and introduce you to some of the newest Brewers, including one pick who his dad is a Hall of Famer that had a huge impact with the Brewers in his time too. We'll tell you who that is in case you missed that. Plus we'll do some local sports roundup coming up a little bit later on with Mr. JC and EC Justice Cleveland, sports director from WEAU 13 News, who'll be joining us in the 9 o'clock hour. And we'll go, I know we had some baseball action with Legion Ball and obviously the Express and some local kids getting drafted in the Major League Baseball draft too. So we'll chat with that with Justice coming up a couple of hours from now. Plus, we'll get back to your comments, your texts, your calls, all that fun stuff. So hit us up on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, or you can hang out in the Section 105 chat room and join in on the conversation. Join in on the conversation that's going on over there too. So, but we'll kick off the next hour. We'll do a little VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend, and we'll throw a little hoops chat into the conversation too. But plenty more baseball talk to get to here as we are just getting things going here this morning. 1 hour in, we got 3 more to go. We'll be right back after these quick words. All right, second hour kicks off right now on this Monday morning of July 13th. Thanks for hanging out with us and making us a part of your start. If you're up and at it, let's kick off this hour with a little VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. I'll start off with the worst, just to get you want the good news or the bad news first. I think the worst. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Getting swept, but also Brewers' health heading into the All-Star break, specifically when it comes to their pitching. So, I don't know. Do you have a word? Do you want to probably?
My worst is, it's the exact same as yours.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, right? I can't think of anything else that would probably top that. My best, I got to give a tip of the cap to our 9U team. We were down in Holman all weekend. We went undefeated and got the championship. Long weekend, late night last night, but we're rocking. So shout out to the kiddos for playing in that heat and getting it done. So best of the weekend. Shout out to the 9U Blue Eau Claire Nationals team. So there you have it.
Congratulations.
Oh, hey, that's all the kiddos. It was all the kiddos. A lot, but kudos to them. They played awesome. So, yeah. Other than that, did you have anything good for the weekend to kind of highlight, or just it was a weekend and that was what was good?
It was a weekend. That was what was good. But I took a trip with my dad and uncle down to Canterbury, Minnesota.
Oh, nice.
Yep, watched the horses
run.
I was
just going to ask, did you watch the horse?
Yep,
okay.
that was pretty fun. That was my first time ever doing something like that, so that was pretty cool.
I haven't done that, but I've heard quite a few people going over there doing it, having fun with that.
It's cool. It's definitely interesting, definitely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that they have corgi races down there, and I have one. So
I didn't know that.
So next year, it might be training year this year. Next year, I might try to get him in there.
Nice.
So see how that works.
So did they actually run the corgis when you were there?
No, that's on August 9th.
Okay.
So
got it.
Maybe I'll have to.
You might have to go and scout
the competition. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of get a feel for that. I did not know that they did that. So.
They do. I think I looked it up after. They do all types of different dogs.
Okay.
Like all throughout the summer. So
okay. Interesting. So.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, the rest of you, share it with us. What's the best and what's the worst from this past weekend? Our VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. Let's kind of still with some baseball because since we're on that topic here, was the MLB draft this past weekend. And, I mean, I don't want to get into a full breakdown of these players because Major League Baseball draft, it's such a crapshoot for a lot of these players, and for a wide majority of them, we may not see them for a couple of years. Not every guy is going to be like a Bryce Harper or a Ken Griffey Jr. that's going to play right away. That's not going to be the case. Some do. Some get up quicker, like a Paul Skeens moved up pretty quick and that. But from a Brewers, and that's the other thing too. When it comes to this baseball draft, I know people are like, well, why did they draft a shortstop when they've already got? It's a few years. It's kind of like a marathon, right? It's not going to be an immediate one, but it's kind of a family affair too because Trey Ebel, who was drafted, his brother's already in the Brewers organization, was their first round pick from last year too. So that's kind of a cool story on there. And I think you almost go, especially where the Brewers were drafted number 25 in the first round. I feel like this is the one draft where you maybe just go best available and load up regardless of position. I remember a few years ago, the Angels, I think it was when they still had Ohtani, but I think used every pick on pitchers because they just couldn't figure out pitching. But I feel like the MLB draft is just go in there and you pick who's best on your board and just load up at every other position. So. Yeah. Do you follow the MLB draft, or it's so hard to? I feel like at times
it's tough because also these players might not even sign with the Brewers.
Exactly.
So you're talking about not seeing them in the majors for a few years. You might not see them again, or you might not see them in a Brewers uniform. And But I think the Ebel pick, it's smart. You can probably get him to sign for slot value because his brother plays here, and I'm assuming they want to play together again. So.
Right. Yeah.
And people saying, "Why'd you draft a shortstop?" Well, okay, Cooper Pratt's most likely the shortstop for the future. But we don't know the future of Terang. Even if Madej comes up and plays, 6 years or so at third base, if we can't lock him down, you're always going to need new people, especially with a team like the Brewers.
Yep. Yeah. And let's face it too. A lot of these guys, they might be trade capital later on too. When you boost up your farm system and you have a plethora of prospects, they might be used as trade stuff too. So, and a lot of these too, some of these guys are coming right out of high school. So I don't follow a lot of California high school baseball, so I couldn't tell you a whole lot about some of these players. But the cool one was the final pick, I believe, was in the 20th round for the Brewers. But the Brewers drafting a kid that has a little bit of familiarity with the franchise. His last name's Sabathia, Karsten Sabathia, which is, yes, CC Sabathia's son. So the Brewers drafting him in the 20th round. And he does remember a little bit about the Brewers. I think he said he was like in kindergarten around that time. But he said, quote, "I remember not wanting to leave Milwaukee because it was the summertime. And I was like, Mom, we're in Milwaukee and I never have to go to school. This is awesome. I never want to leave." Being real young, that's all you're thinking about. I remember going to the stadium and loving the uniforms, loving the colors, loving the slide in deep left center. Just all of those memories that you have as a kid, those are all flooding back. So, again, we may never see him suit up for the Brewers, but that's kind of the thing, too, when it comes to the MLB draft. You have some of these cool stories and fun stories, too. I mean, father, sons. I mean, that's got to be pretty cool for CC and his family to see that his son not only drafted in Major League Baseball, but going to a team that, CC was only there for a half a season, but he made such a huge impact, and he clearly enjoyed his time in Milwaukee. And ironically, just a couple months ago, Milwaukee inducted him to the Waller Walk of Fame, too. I always get those two mixed up once in a while.
I think it was just the Wall.
Was it
I
the
don't
Wall?
think he has a Walk of Fame spot.
Because the Walk is the higher one, right?
Yeah,
the Wall.
Yeah, the Walk's the higher. It's around the stadium.
Yep. So kind of that pretty cool story too. So
he'll be playing with Prince Fielder's son, Jaden Fielder, pretty soon.
That's right.
Most likely, because he's with
oh
Low
my
A.
God,
Yeah.
Jaden looks like Prince so much.
Mm-hmm. If only his swing could look like Prince's.
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to bash him. I mean,
No.
he's made it further than I would ever make it, so it's good for him. But yeah,
And a second baseman too. So I mean, he's going different between his dad and grandpa.
yeah.
Because Cecil was first baseman DH, I believe. I mean, he was a bigger dude too, but all right. So
That'd be cool for Low A. You get to see two alumni sons.
that would be.
Also, this is the first time that I found out that CC Sabathia's full name is Karsten.
Oh,
And
so
he's a junior as well.
So it's Karsten the third?
Yeah, it's Karsten the third. Karsten Sabathia the third.
Yes. I love that even more.
Except he's a hitter this time,
Perfect.
not a pitcher. He's a
Not a
first baseman.
pitcher.
So
I like it. All right. Tell you what, let's take a quick break, and we're going to get to a little bit of a hoop stock here with the Bucks. Some drama over the weekend on Friday, but then Bucks also adding to their roster. We'll update you on the latest coming up after these quick words. Looking for the perfect summer hangout? Well, then you need to make your way on over to the VFW Post 305 right here in Eau Claire. Enjoy some beautiful views overlooking the river, some great food, some cold beverages, and some of the best live local music that you will find anywhere in the Chippewa Valley. Whether you're meeting some friends after work or spending a summer evening outdoors, VFW Post 305 is the place to be. Great views, great music, great times. That's the VFW Post 305, 1300 Star Avenue in Eau Claire. Shifting gears here for just a little bit, a little hoops chat, as we've got Summer League going on right now in the NBA. And, Friday, a little bit of a news nugget. Apparently, new Milwaukee Buck member, Tyler Hero, and his former teammate, Bam Adebayo, got into a little bit of an altercation on Friday morning. Apparently, according to ESPN, Adebayo struck Tyler Hero in the head area. I don't know if that's another way of saying he got punched in the head or slapped or what. But the altercation occurred, according to ESPN, at a practice court in a Las Vegas hotel. It started when Bam Adebayo approached Tyler about comments the guard made critiquing the center on social media after their 7-year run as teammates in Miami ended when Hero was traded to Milwaukee. Tyler was seated courtside for Friday's Summer League game between the Heat and the Bucks, and he was interviewed during the game, saying, quote, "It's all love in Miami. I've seen a couple of the guys, coaching staff, Chris Quinn, Eric Spoelstra, the front office guys. We're all good in Miami, just an opportunity for both sides to reset, get a fresh start. And both are super happy with this. An organization like Miami, they want championships. They play for championships. It's part of the business. I know how good I am, what I'm capable of. Just got to continue to keep working and try to stay healthy and represent this new team how I'm supposed to." So, I'll add a little bit more to that drama between these. I don't know if drama is the right word, but add a little bit more intrigue to these two teams now. With, we'll see if that anything kind of carries over to the regular season. If there's maybe a little bit of animosity or a little bit of heat or whatever. But Bucks weren't done making news over the weekend though, because Milwaukee also locking up Gary Trent Jr. He agreed to a 4-year, $64 million deal to return to the Bucks. When I first saw this, I got to admit, I'm a little puzzled, a little curious, questioning this move. I mean, Gary Trent Jr. last year, he shot 41%, 39% from three, but only averaged 9.7 points per game. He had signed for the league minimum in the summer of 2024 and then got a 2-year, $7.5 million contract before the start of last season, but he opted out of his player's option to become a free agent. This puzzles me a little bit, Justin. I don't know about you, but 4 years, $64 million for Gary Trent Jr. Now, Gary Trent Jr. a few years ago, before he was with the Bucks, yeah, he was putting up some decent numbers. I think, at times averaging 18 points per game, 17 points per game and that. But now you're $64 million for 4 years? I don't know about this.
Yeah. So basically kind of there's some stuff being floated out about this, about how maybe Gary Trent Jr. and the Bucks came to a handshake deal last summer.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yep, and now this was the way to circumvent kind of salary cap, and so they said 1 more year on a minimum, and then maybe we'll get you a fully guaranteed contract. Not sure if that is, but after how he played last year, that seems like it could be likely. I mean, the next NBA is expected to investigate now, so we'll see what happens. But
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of the move, but that's kind of the thing that happens with these handshake deals, is you can't go back on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, so I was reading a little bit from The Athletic, and this was from it was a few writers, including David Aldridge and John Hollinger and that. But it started off, John Hollinger, sitting in the front or sitting in a row of media folks watching a Summer League game as the news broke. It was amusing to see a conga line of people look at their phones and blurt, "What?" and then began cackling. Gary Trent Jr. played his way out of the rotation on a bad team last season. Suffice it to say, it seemed unlikely he would generate a bidding war for much of the minimum salary. Yet, Trent becomes one of the few players this offseason to get 4 fully guaranteed seasons in a market where most role players have been squeezed on both years and dollars. So it makes a lot of, I mean, I don't want to accuse without knowing, but I mean, I don't know what else it could be to give the man 4 guaranteed years of $64 million. And I don't know if the league's even going to find anything. Yeah, you know, if it's like you said, the handshake type of deal. I mean, otherwise this just looks like an awfully bad decision by Horst and the Bucks franchise too. But it's just, I can't see any other reason to do this other than you're honoring a handshake deal from last year.
And then even if the NBA does do something, the Bucks are almost already penalizing themselves with this deal, giving I think it's like $16 million a year to Gary Trent Jr. When you already have Ryan Rollins, Kevin Porter Jr., now Braden Burries and Tyler Hero and AJ Green. So where does he fit into all this? And I'm guessing they move off of one of these, but you're not moving off of Burries. You're not moving off of Rollins. Obviously not Trent Jr. now. So either Kevin Porter, AJ Green, or Tyler Hero, you figure one of them's got to go. That's not even mentioning Karis LeVert and Kasparis. I don't know how to say his last name.
Sam Vicini from The Athletic also said part of this, it was kind of a back and forth between some of these writers, but he said, for 2 months now, I've gotten asked by league sources not connected to the Bucks or Clutch Agency, which is Gary Trent Jr.'s representation, if I had heard that the Bucks were going to give Gary Trent Jr. something in the ballpark of the full mid-level exception for 4 years. And my response was typically something along the lines of, there's no way they can do that coming off the season he had. This deal, as Sam Amick and Eric Name reported, has been anticipated. The NBA should pretty clearly look into this contract in regard to salary cap circumvention. I cannot remember a player agreeing to sign for the minimum 1 year, having his worst season in 7 years, where he was at below average player by any standard, and then receiving 5 times as much money in free agency the following year, let alone 4 guaranteed years in a marketplace where starting quality players on good teams, which Trent proved he was not this past season, had an exceptionally difficult time getting multiple guaranteed years. Regarding what another writer said above, that feels at very least some real circumstantial evidence that this deal cannot be rationally explained. But then again, the worst punishment the Bucks can receive here might be paying Gary Trent Jr. $64 million for the next 4 years, given that he's seen downticks in scoring average in each of the last 5 years and overall offensive efficiency, and 4 of the last 5 outside of the spike season in 24-25, his lone season since 2020, where he had a true shooting percentage above league average as a player who derives most of his value as a shooter and a scorer. And then John Hollinger says, voiding the contract would be strongly in the Bucks' interest. Penalizing the Bucks' draft picks or fining them, on the other hand, would be possible remedies if the league let the contract stand. So it sure seems like everybody's expecting the NBA to investigate that. I mean, innocent until proven guilty, but it sure seems like everybody feels like the Bucks are guilty at this point. So something to kind of monitor. But yeah, when I saw that Saturday pop up, I'm like, what? Even I think casual Bucks fans are like, what are you doing with that contract? Like, come on now. Unless Gary Trent goes out there and all of a sudden averages 25 points a game this season, then maybe the Bucks look like absolute flipping geniuses. But right now, no, there's no way. There's just no way. Just looks ridiculous.
I remember watching him in the playoffs against the Pacers, and I thought they were going to give him big money after some of those performances because he looked great in that series. But at least at the end of it. But yeah, that at the time where it is now, it just feels like they made a deal last year, little handshake deal, and now they have to pay up. But I don't see this working out in the Bucks' favor at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same here, man. Same here. All right, let's take a quick break. But we'll be back with some more baseball. Continue to send us your VFW post at 305 best and worst of the weekend. We're going to play a little Monday morning chat GPTs. We asked our chat GPT. You know, everybody's a Monday morning quarterback, right? So, well, we asked them a Brewers question. Since one of the questions we're throwing out there this morning is, what's the biggest thing, area, position, however you want to phrase it, that the Brewers need to address during this All-Star break? What do you think is the biggest thing they need to address? So we asked our Monday morning quarterback or Monday morning chat GPT, and we'll tell you what they had to say coming up after these quick words. Summer is here, and that means it is the perfect time to give your home a fresh new look with Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire. Whether you are updating a family room, finishing a basement, or refreshing a bedroom, or maybe finally tackling that remodeling project you've been putting off, Carpet City Flooring Center has the flooring options you are looking for. From beautiful luxury vinyl planks to carpet, tile, and so much more, you will find quality products and expert guidance every single step of the way. Their experienced team will help you find the right flooring to fit your style, your budget, and with professional installation available, your project can be completed quickly and correctly. Make this summer the summer you transform your home. Stop on in to Carpet City Flooring Center in Eau Claire today and discover why so many area homeowners trust Carpet City Flooring Center for all of their flooring needs. Carpet City Flooring Center, helping you love where you live. So, Monday mornings, we play a little Monday morning quarterback. We all play a little Monday morning quarterback, but we involved the computers, the artificial intelligence aliens out there when it comes to our Monday morning quarterback. So we come up with a question or a topic and just ask for their Monday morning quarterback take. And, well, since we're talking a lot of Brewers, we threw out the question. Still need a name for our ChatGPT alien computer person. But we just simply asked, do you think, what's the biggest need? The biggest need that the Milwaukee Brewers need now that we're in the All-Star break? What is the biggest need that the Brewers need? And they ranked the top three. Okay. Number 3 is a bat. They say this probably surprises some fans. I love how they say, but I'd put offense third. Milwaukee's lineup has become much more dangerous than many expected. They've gotten contributions from several young players. They've shown improved athleticism, and they're capable of manufacturing runs rather than relying solely on the home run. That said, if the right player became available, I'd love to see them add a right-handed power bat, someone who consistently gets on base, or another middle-of-the-order hitter who lengthens the lineup. The key is that it has to be the right hitter, not just a bat for the sake of making a move. Okay, I think that's fair, right? I think that's fair. Number 2, bullpen. The bullpen has been a strength for years, but you can never have enough late-inning arms. Reasons it's second. Relief pitching can wear down over a long season. Injuries happen frequently to relievers. One more high-leverage arm shortens playoff games dramatically. The Brewers have shown they know how to develop bullpen talent, but adding an experienced 8th or 9th inning option could make them even tougher. Number 1 is starting pitcher. Milwaukee has done what Milwaukee always seems to do: piece together a competitive rotation despite injuries and young pitchers stepping into bigger roles. But if they're serious about making a deep postseason run, they need another reliable starter who can take the ball every 5th day. Why it's number 1? The postseason is won with quality starting pitching. It reduces the workload on the bullpen. It provides insurance if a young pitcher hits an innings limit or struggles late in the year. You'd ideally like to have 4 starters you trust in a playoff series. The Brewers don't necessarily need an ace. They need someone who can consistently give them 6 quality innings against good lineups. Justin, how did our Chat GPT Monday morning alien computer person do?
I think it's just basically amplified everything that we've kind of been saying. Mm-hmm. Starting first, bullpen second, and then a bat third. Specifically a power bat if one becomes available, but like it said, people have been stepping up and contributing more, so the bat is kind of on the back burner for now, especially with the pitching injuries on the forefront.
Yeah, I think, too, when, if we want to be greedy, I love all 3, right? I mean, I think if they got somehow all 3, I think everybody would be happy and ecstatic. But I think now with some of the injuries and some of the fatigue with those starters, and the Brewers have shown the ability. I mean, think about it too. Shane Drone has bullpen experience too. So if you get another starter, you kind of almost add to the bullpen by maybe moving a guy like Shane Drone or Bransford or somebody else to the bullpen. And Shane Drone was awesome in there in the month of May. And he's done a a good job as a starter too. So it almost feels like if you add a starter, then you kind of push some guys down and you add to the bullpen that way. I know DL Hall is working his way back and trying to come back, and you got some other guys that are in the mix there too. But yeah, I think if somehow it's not going to be Skubal. I mean, knock on wood. Otherwise, I'll have egg on my face. I don't think anybody, like you mentioned earlier too, it is going to be, I think, a seller's market, and that price tag is going to be incredibly high, especially if there's going to be more teams in contention. But like you said too, you look at the American League standings. How many teams are still in it? There's a lot, even in the National League too. I mean, if you want to look at, Detroit right now, they're 44-52, but they're only 3.5 games back from a wild card spot. Okay, this is like the Eastern Conference in the NBA from a few years ago, where teams under 500 might get into the postseason. Probably not in baseball, but you get the idea. You never know, but. Right now, the Mariners and the Twins are tied for the final wildcard spot, and they're 1 game under 500. So, at this point, if you're the Tigers, you still have a pot. You're plus 24 in run differential. You're playing way below your expectations. To me, the Tigers are maybe the one team in this entire league that has the biggest decision to make. Do you trade Skubal to try to get something in return? Or do you finish off the season and maybe something magical happens? That's why I'm glad I'm not a general manager. Because, yeah, you're not playing that well, but, man, if you can make the postseason and you get to throw out a Skubal, you're going to have a chance, right? You're going to have a chance to do so. I don't know what they're going to do at this point.
That's why the rest of July is going to be very, very telling. Because if you're, 4 or 5 games back, Skubal can start those games, and that might be the games that you need to win. Mm-hmm. But if you're anything more than that, I think you have to make the difficult choice, but probably the right choice, to just sell him and get something for him in return.
Yeah.
But then who takes him? Who is willing to give up most of, if not pretty much their entire farm, at least the exciting parts of it, to get that final piece? Mm-hmm. When you're just going to most likely run into the buzzsaw that is the Dodgers anyways.
It might be the Dodgers that gets Skubal. And I think that's the frustrating part. But you kind of have to tip you. Not only do they spend a lot, but their farm system is really good. Like, they build a team. They do a really good job. Brewers, by a lot of the other standards, now have the top farm system, but the Dodgers are right there. Kind of Dodgers were number 1. Now, for a lot of them, they're number 2. And I think that's the frustrating part, or top 5, or wherever they're so 3, Dodgers 4 right now, right? So still, for a team that spends as much money and they got a top 5 farm system, that's the frustration. But it's good business. They're building. They're doing a really good job of building their squad, because they're going out there and spending money. They're playing the system with the deferred money, obviously, But hey, they're not breaking rules, right? I wish the Brewers were able to do a lot of that stuff. When you have the top payroll and you're a top 5 farm system too, what do you do? Because they have the ammo to acquire Skubal if they wanted to.
Yeah, and then they've got the money to extend him on top of that.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that would be the worst case scenario.
If they get Skubal and extend him, which I know they would try to get an extension done right away, because they would probably defer a decent amount of it, baseball will not happen in 2027. I'm already fairly confident that it won't.
The whole season, you don't think it'll happen?
It's going to be tough. I think that owners have come together and agreed on a floor and a cap, but the players absolutely will not. And I think it was even an ad on YouTube from the players union saying, don't let them cap our game. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be the longest lockout in a while. But if the Dodgers get Skubal and extend him, it absolutely will not happen in 2027, I feel.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel great. I'm probably in single digits in confidence level of the season even starting on time, like percentage-wise, single digits. If there's two sides, like a players' union in a league that feels like there's so many issues, it's baseball. Right? You go back to the COVID year where they couldn't even figure out when to start. How to do that. They couldn't figure that out to come to common ground. And you look at their history of strike. I just have no confidence that they're going to be able to figure this out before the season starts. And you're right, because that's going to have major impacts on free agents, on players, on what teams can do, what they're going to be allowed to do. You're going to be in such a holding pattern here where, and I don't know where the timeline is, but I would imagine as soon as that, and the thing is to remember, baseball offseason starts like right away. Whereas football, you have a couple months. Baseball offseason starts almost like a month or so after. I mean, it's right away. So even if they come to an agreement, you're going to have an off season where there's going to be some moves, free agency, signings, and that. So you're not going to be able to start right away. It stinks and it sucks because the Brewers are a young team too that I don't want them to waste a year.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the tough thing. And I mean, you have to have this time. Otherwise, you just have a little bit of an extended spring training where people are signing, but then the start of the year is incredibly sloppy and rough. But that's the thing. And that's what I was upset too, is the Brewers are young, and I really don't want to lose a year of a lot of these guys, even if they get another year tacked on to their contract or contracts like take a pause. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to ask. I don't know if they would lose the service time or, that sort of thing.
This is it'll be Contreras' final ARB year, so I would assume that he would just get another year tacked on so that you don't just lose a year of a player. But like you said, all the other leagues, they seem to have a better players association, like kind of relationship. Yeah, but I think a lot of that goes hand in hand with the salary cap.
Yep.
You don't hear about NFL, NBA, or NHL going on strike anytime soon. This will be the second lockout in 7 years, I think. Something like that. I can't remember. It was in college when it last happened.
Could be that COVID one where they didn't get in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We got to take our final break for this hour. We'll ask Justin his home run derby prediction for tonight. Are you geeked up for the home run derby? Maybe you will be because it's going to be a hot one and you want to stay in some AC. So if you want, you can send us your predictions. We'll take a quick break and we'll wrap up the second hour as we approach halftime. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Summer cookout season is here, and you know what? Nobody does summer grilling better than Mike's Star Market in Eau Claire. From premium steaks and fresh burgers to brats and chicken, you'll find quality and value throughout the store. Before your next cookout, make sure you stop by Mike's Star Market and stock up on the freshest ingredients around. You can visit them today at 2238 Heimstead Road, and make sure you're following their Facebook page too for some sales, last-second sales, deals, contests, all that good stuff. Mike's Star Market in Eau Claire, helping make every summer gathering a delicious one. We've got the Home Run Derby tonight to kick off All-Star Week festivities, and just to kind of go through the list. You've got the Derby participants, right, Justin?
Yes, I do.
Who do we got here? Go for it. I'll let you.
All right. Sorry, so we got Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, both from the Phillies and their home ballpark. Junior Caminero from the Rays. Munetaka Murakami from the White Sox.
I'm glad he's in it.
So am I.
Yeah.
Jordan Walker from the Cardinals. Jack Caglione from the Royals, which is a bit of a surprise pick. Wilson Contreras from the Red Sox.
Boo.
Yep, and Ben Rice from the Yankees.
All right. So break it down. Who are you picking?
I have the final round coming down to Murakami and Harper, and due to experience, I think Harper takes it. Is the last one to win in his own ballpark in 2018, and I think he does it again in Philly.
All right. It's probably a smart one to go with somebody who's familiar with. Now, I don't know if this matters or if they say Schwarber and Harper having the same guy pitch.
I don't believe they are.
Okay.
Because I think Harper, there was some story, I think, about him, who he's picking.
Okay. I know sometimes, it's like sometimes a guy will have his dad or maybe a high school coach or whatever. So I wasn't sure if it was.
I meant to see Bryce Harper. Oh, okay. Yeah, here we go. Their
third base coach.
The Dodgers.
For the Dodgers
coach.
Yeah.
I think they have a
history.
Yeah, a history. Maybe not though, but it said that.
So Harper had his father throw to him in 2018. Harper, okay,
who has not pitched.
Okay, interesting. All right, strategy involved in that one.
Yeah, I think it's just basically this guy is throwing for a lot of people in the home run derby, so he just went to him, and I guess he's got a reputation.
All right, I like it. So no, I remember younger just being so into the home run derby. So I'll be paying attention to because I don't want to be outside tonight with the warm weather. So still recovering from the weekend. But give me maybe a guy that you think might surprise tonight. Maybe a little bit of a wild card pick that you think, hey, you know what? He might do better than what maybe some people think. Because I feel like there's always that guy that surprises.
That's tough because all these people I feel like are honestly pretty good. Caglione, just because he's young, he might kind of surprise people. Maybe he has a bit more energy. Because I want to say Jordan Walker, but that doesn't feel like a surprise with how he's been mashing this season.
Yeah.
I mean, even it says here with Ben Rice being like the 8th and final guy, that sets up a very fun derby, a very interesting derby. Mm-hmm. I was hoping Bowers was gonna work his way sneak in, yeah, but.
Which, by the way, can we also throw out there with guys that have been dropping out of the All-Star game, the fact that Bryce Terang still is not in it is a travesty and is a mockery and is a shame or whatever verb and adjectives we want to use to this. The fact that he's still not in there is just, call me a homer, but it's mind-boggling.
Well, remember we looked at the stats of him and Albies. I think that was last week.
Yep.
And Terang had him in almost every single thing.
I don't get it.
Does not make sense.
Ohtani backed out, so I don't know if they just did the straight-up DH versus DH thing, but, I mean, come on. Anybody can be a DH in today's pitch in baseball, for crying out loud. Just get the best players in there. He is one of the best players in Major League Baseball at his position. He deserves to be in the All-Star game. There's no question about it.
I guess maybe it makes his arbitration cheaper.
Oh, God.
He doesn't have that accolade.
Yeah.
They'll bring it up.
That's the thing. Is like, that is so... I hate arbitration because I feel like it's so awkward. A team wants you, but, you're not this good. So that whole Corbin Burns thing from a few years ago, that mess, ugh, it's just got to be so awkward.
Well, if you're a player, why would you even go to the hearing? I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't
just to
wanna
hear
go.
how you're not worth the money that you want.
Yeah.
Just let my agent or whoever deals with it, let them deal with it, and then I'll wait for the results.
Yep. And don't tell me what was said maybe in the meeting either until after. Like, what if I'm not on that team anymore or something? Because, yeah, that's just so awkward.
Tell me when I become a free agent, if they have an offer on the table, then tell me what they said.
Because that might change my decision.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So, but money always talks. Money always talks. So, all right. Yeah, we got that. Again, reminder, Brewers, they're not going to be back in action until Friday. So, now that the draft is over with, I hope they shift their gear or their outlook. And Matt Arnold's huddling up with his staff and figuring out, okay, what do we need to do by that deadline? Because that's going to come up quick here. I think it's August 3rd is the deadline. And that's like 3 weeks away. So we're not that far off here. I still think they make a move. It's probably just not a big, splashy, sexy move that fans are going to be happy about.
That's not Matt Arnold's style. The big moves aren't. I think it was Stearns who traded for Yelich and like signed Kane and stuff. I think Matt Arnold likes to hoard his prospects. I don't think he really likes to give them away.
Mm-hmm.
But in a year like this year, where you are absolutely in a championship window, you have 59 wins, second best team in baseball, should absolutely be a go-get-it year, even if it's not Skubal. Just somebody that is an established pitcher. And then if you can, a bat. I feel like a relief pitcher might be inevitable because they're a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But then it's either a starting pitcher or a bat on top of that. And hopefully it's
I feel like the bullpen arm is like almost a guarantee that the Brewers are going to try to get. That because that feels like that's the one area that they're always looking to add is more arms in the pen. And to provide that, I feel like they like those versatile arms too. I wouldn't mind a back end guy that has some experience, like a high leverage situation, to maybe, with McGill and Uribe. But I remember those Brewers teams where it was like 7, 8, 9, good luck. Because if you get to the seventh inning with a lead, they essentially had 3 closers, and you're good.
I think there was, I know one year it was, like Jeffries, Hader, Knebel.
Yep.
And then I think like Jeffries, Hader, Williams was another combination. Those were a lot of fun to watch. Because then if you get 6 out of your starter, you're golden.
Yeah, exactly. So I could see them potentially doing that because I feel like they've got bullpen guys that can give you a little bit of distance, especially if guys are going to be healthier and coming back and you move some of those other guys to the pen. So, all right, we only got 30 seconds left until the news updates here. So don't forget, you can continue to send us your VFW Post 305 best and worst of the weekends. We've got JC and EC, Justice Cleveland from WEAU 13 News joining us in 1 hour from now. We'll do some local sports roundup with him, brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. So, Justin, thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
You got it. All right, we'll be right back after these quick words. All right. Halftime is over with, and we are on to the third quarter already on this Monday morning of July 13th. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Don't forget, you can hit us up with your thoughts on that Shoe Doctors bullpen line, 715-830-1912, or chime in on the Section 105 chat room, too. That's available over there. Coming up in about an hour, we'll catch up with Justice Cleveland. We'll do a little local sports roundup brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. Lots to catch up on. We got plenty more Brewers chat coming your way. So we'll get back to that. We are throwing out the question when it comes to the Brewers. Now that we are into the All-Star break, what do you believe are the biggest questions surrounding the Brewers? Is it health? I think everybody can probably say that for all their teams, right? Especially, though, looking at the recent stuff with the Brewers with some of their health issues. Maybe that one moves up a little bit more in the priority list. Pitching, is it enough? Do they need to add a veteran to that starting rotation? A power bat, can they keep up their pace? Momentum? All the above. More. What do you think is some of the bigger question marks surrounding this team, this 59-win team? Second best record in Major League Baseball. Let us know. Give me your picks. Give me your thoughts, okay? 715-830-1912. Let's kick off this hour, though, continuing our Packers training camp countdown. We are 2 weeks away from Wednesday, July 29th, the first practice, the first training camp practice. Oh, man, that's hard to believe. I'm sorry, but we are that close to actual training camp practice preseason games. So we've been doing some countdown position groups, questions heading into training camp, things that you're going to be watching. And we've highlighted the offensive line. We've talked about the running backs. We've talked about the corners. And we've talked about the interior defensive line. I am going to go now. I'm going to switch it here because there was a little bit of Packers news over the weekend that I don't want to say it was swept under the rug, but it was quietly done. And apparently the Packers gave Isaiah McDuffie a 1-year contract extension, or added 1 year to his contract. So we're sticking around here for a little bit, and we've had some change with the linebacker. Now, I'm not going to talk about the edge rushers like Micah Parsons. I'm straight up looking at the Isaiah McDuffies, the Edrin Coopers, and the Zaire Franklins. Those linebackers, because we've had a little bit of a changing of the guard, right? So, fun nugget from Bill Huber about the Isaiah McDuffie contract. If McDuffie, he ends up his piece, and you can read it at si.com. But he ends the piece by saying if McDuffie plays out the contract, that would be 7 seasons with the team. According to StatHead, only 10 off-the-ball linebackers have played more seasons in Green Bay, led by Ray Nitschke with 15. I would imagine A.J. Hawk's got to be on that list too. Think about that. Feels like inside linebackers for a long portion of my Packers fandom and Packers life here. Feels like inside linebackers or off-ball linebackers have always kind of been a revolving door. But nonetheless, when you look at this depth chart now for Green Bay at that linebacking spot, two things that I'm really looking at. And we probably won't get those questions answered in training camp and preseason games, right? But how does Zaire Franklin, year number 1 within this defense, he's going to have the communication device. How quickly He's up to speed. Now, little familiarity with Jonathan Gannon, such way back in the day. I believe with the quick cop minute, they may have ran into each other with the Colts. But how quickly he's, can get that play in, essentially being the captain, the leader, the quarterback of the defense. How does he transition into this team? How does he fit within his defense? He's replacing Quay Walker. Okay? The Packers moved on from Quay Walker. They brought in a little bit of an older linebacker, a guy that is coming off of a down year. By all, his accounts. I mean, he still finished with 125 total tackles, but the years prior, 173, 179, 167. And kind of talked about it was different change in philosophy and style on the defensive side. That could very well be the case. But he's been in the league since 2018. And knock on wood, he has been super healthy. 16 games, 16 games, 16 games, 17 games, 17 games, 16 games, 17 games, 17 games. Rarely misses a game. Knock on wood that continues. But that's something I'll definitely be watching and paying attention to is the new linebacker, the new communication guy. How he fits. How he adapts, adjusts, jumps right into this defense. I don't think there's going to be any issues, but it's a new guy. So you just you naturally look at, okay, I gotta be up to speed. I gotta be familiar with this guy. All right, let's go. And then Edgerrin Cooper, year 3. I think we are all high on Edgerrin Cooper. And why wouldn't you be? I think the one thing, though, from last year that we probably want to see more of or maybe be better at was sacks. I mean, he came off his rookie year, 3.5 sacks. Last year, just credited with a half a sack. But it was clearly evident in that Bears game last year who was the best player on the defensive side, or maybe for Green Bay, was Edgerrin Cooper. Guy was flying all over the place. And he can be a game wrecker. He can be a difference maker. There's no question. And I think this is a huge year for him in terms of moolah, dollars, money. Because after this year, he's going to be eligible for a contract extension. And if he's healthy and he goes out there and balls out to the level that I think we all expect or we all know that he can go out there and ball out to, dude's going to make a lot of money. He, to me, is one of the more important defensive players on this squad, especially if there is a little concern with the pass rush. And I think he is going to be even more important the first few weeks of the season without Micah Parsons on the field. If Micah Parsons is not there and, misses that first quarter of the season, the importance of Edgerrin Cooper maybe getting after the quarterback skyrockets. To be that playmaker, to be that difference maker on the defensive side. It skyrockets for Edgerrin Cooper. And then, we talked a little bit. Isaiah McDuffie is just kind of Mr. Consistent. Is he a difference maker? I wouldn't say he's a difference maker. And, he's listed on the depth chart as, I guess in a base 3-4, he would be kind of a backup to Zaire and Edgerrin Cooper. Right now he's listed as the backup to Zaire. When they were a 4-3, he'd be out there, but then in a nickel, he'd be taken off for the other corner. But Isaiah, whether he might affect games more on special teams, he's not going to be this game-wrecking type of linebacker. He's consistent. He'll give you some games where it's like, maybe make a couple plays. And he's just one of those glue guys. That's the best way I think we could describe a guy like Isaiah McDuffie, just a glue guy, a reliable guy. And I think it tells you a lot about the respect that he has within that locker room and that team when he wore the C patch last year, that captain's patch. Guys love him. You hear compliments about him all the time from his teammates and coaches. So to have that guy around, and especially when you're bringing in a new inside linebacker, just to have the other guy that you're probably feeling very comfortable with, like, okay, if we need another guy that to wear that green dot, to have that backup, to have Isaiah McDuffie is just, you feel better. It's like a security blanket. I'm not expecting him to be a Pro Bowl, all pro because I don't want to use Pro Bowl as a thing, all pro type of player, but he's a really good role player, depth player, glue guy. And then after that, Tyron Hopper. I want to see a year 3 jump from Hopper. He's got speed. He's got athleticism. It's just, okay, are we going to get more opportunities from him now? He got a little bit more last year due to injuries and that. But when he was first drafted in 2024, it was like, okay, that seems like a special teams pick. And then you kind of develop him and bring him along. But he was a round 3 pick in 2024. So there is, you don't make a round 3 pick without the idea of, like, eventually maybe he is a starter or an impact player. And I think in year 3, let's see a little bit more from number 59 out there. He's got the athleticism, he's got the athletic traits to be an impact player. But I think we need to see that jump in year 3 from Tyron Hopper. And then after that, you've got Nick Niemann, who's a special teams guy. Linebacker out of Iowa. Initially, that's what he was brought on for. And I know he got banged up. And, that was kind of a loss on special teams. So I think, you look at his first few years with the Chargers. A little bit more for the special teams play, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And we know Green Bay needs some special teams dudes. They need some guys on there. So I think, just from a health standpoint, to see him back out on the field and being healthy to help improve special teams. And I think, you got Christian Welch, who it kind of surprised you a little bit, but, he's a Wisconsin guy. I think it catches you off guard a little bit. He's played 7 seasons. I mean, he's been with Baltimore. He's been with, Denver and Green Bay, his second stint right now. So I think, he's going to have how do I want to say this? If I were to pick roster predictions right now, I mean, it's Zaire, it's Edgerrin Cooper, it's Isaiah McDuffie, it's Hopper, and then it's probably, Nick. But then Welch is right there on that bubble. It's probably, honestly, between Christian and Nick for that final linebacker spot. And it's going to come down to special teams play. It's as simple as that. And then you throw a little TJ Quinn in here, too. He's a rookie. He's a little bit of a smaller linebacker. Coming out of Louisville. But that's kind of how I see where the linebackers shape up. The top storylines, though, Zaire Franklin, the new guy, the veteran coming in. How does he adapt? How does he transition? Are we going to see the Zaire Franklin from maybe a couple years ago? Like an all-pro type of linebacker? And then a year 3 jump for Edgerrin Cooper. We know he can be a game changer, a game wrecker. Can it just be on a consistency thing for him now? All right, let's take a quick break. Plenty more to get to, though. We'll be right back after these quick words. We are just weeks away from the 6th annual Casper Classic coming your way Friday, August 7th at the gorgeous Lake Hallie Golf Course. Good weekend, too. We had a few more signups. So if you want to get your two-person team in, we only got a couple left. Only a couple spots left between the 10 a.m. and the 1 p.m. slot. So get to our website, sportstalk1051.com. And sign up your two-person team. It's just $90. Not 90 per person. It's 90 per team. You're talking $45. Split the bill between you and your partner. And that includes your 9 holes. That includes your cart. That includes a couple beverage tickets. That includes your meal as well. All right? You're not going to find a better deal for golfing with all that included. So, again, go to our website because we only got a couple left. Only a couple spots left. And sign up your two-person team right now. Big thanks to our sponsors, Muldoon's, Service Master, Chippewa Valley, Park Ridge Distributing, Hy-Vee and Eau Claire, Edward Jones Advisor, Kelsey Nicolai, Do Dodge, Cambridge, Myron Construction, VFW Post 305, Superior Auto Body, Window World, our presenting sponsor, Home Oasis, Residence Branding Company, Claflin Construction, Carpet City Flooring Center, and Economy Furniture. We are still looking for some prizes, raffle prizes. So if you would be interested in helping out or maybe becoming a whole sponsor or what, please reach out. 100% of the proceeds go to help fund Backyard Dreams, and we'd love to load up that raffle prize table with some awesome prizes to help fund Backyard Dreams this year. And a big thanks again to our friends from Superior Auto Body with the donation, $1,000 donation to Backyard Dreams. So big thanks. Big thanks to Nick and Jen from Superior Auto Body for that. All right, we've got some more Brewers. Now, we get a little bit of a break here. I think the Brewers right now, I know you look at this past weekend against the Pirates, and, you know, you never like to be swept. And I'm not going to make any excuses for the Brewers. But, man, they sure seem like a team that needed a break. They need this break. Jacob Mizorowski's going to get a break, a little bit of a longer break. Just get away from baseball. Just get away. Take a breath. Take a deep breath. Relax, put your feet up, and let's get ready for a big-time stretch run. You got 66 more regular season games to go. Then you got the grueling stretch of the postseason. Hopefully this break is going to do wonders here for the Brewers, because you look at some of their pitching right now, they're a little tired. They're a little banged up. Putting a little stress on this pitching staff. So hopefully these few days off is just what the doctor ordered. And they'll be fresh and ready to go. You know, we've been talking about what are some of the biggest questions? What are some of the things you're going to be watching for as we are now into this All-Star break? And I think it's something, you know, I would also add something that Brandon mentioned on Friday. Do the Brewers kind of go back to a 6-man rotation? You know, we're talking about Mizorowski dealing with fatigue. That's why he didn't pitch on Sunday. And it sounds like he's not going to pitch in the first series back. So, do the Brewers try in these final 66 games to employ a little bit of a 6-man rotation to try to keep this pitching staff, this starting group, as fresh as possible so they're not drained out, so they're not wearing out when they get to the postseason? I think that's something to kind of keep tabs on. When you look at, let's say, the 40-man roster right now for the Brewers, okay? For pitching rotation options, you have Miz, Harrison, who's now on the injured list, Brandon Woodruff, I'm not even going to count on here, Brandon Sproat, Shane Drowan, Logan Henderson, Robert Gasser, Coleman Cronow, working his way up. So, I mean, of the healthy-ish ones, you've got a Shane Drone, you've got a Logan Henderson, you've got a Brandon Sprout, you got a Robert Gasser. Those are the, because Harrison's on the IL, Brandon Woodruff's on the IL, Quinn Priester ain't coming back this year, Coleman Crow right now in the minors. I could see them doing a 6-man rotation to try to keep these guys as healthy as possible. What are some of you could throw Chad Patrick in there too. You could throw some of these other spot starts in there, but I think that's something to definitely pay attention to as we get into this stretch run, these final 66 games, to try to preserve these pitchers, to try to keep them as fresh as humanly possible for a potential postseason run. Maybe you do that 6-man rotation. All right. Let's take a quick break as we are halfway through the third quarter already. We got some. We'll take a quick break. Got more baseball talk. What are you looking for, though, or what do you think is the biggest questions surrounding the Brewers heading into the break now? A lot of the same stuff. I think we all have a lot of the same stuff. It's health. Is the pitching enough? Do they need to add a veteran? Do they need to add a power bat? Can they keep up with their pace? Momentum is going to start to be a question thrown out there as we get closer to the playoffs. Are they going to get that momentum? Let's take a quick break, but we'll be back with more in just a couple minutes. Summer puts your vehicle to the test, and AJM Automotive is ready to help you win that battle with two convenient Chippewa Valley locations. Two convenient Chippewa Valley locations. They're right here in Eau Claire, right? AJM Automotive can handle everything from oil changes and inspections to brakes, tires, and major repairs. Before your next road trip, make sure your vehicle is ready for wherever summer takes you. Trust the team at AJM Automotive. 2 locations, 1 commitment, and that is keeping you safely on the road all summer long. Driving back from the La Crosse area yesterday, roads buckling. I'm sure that's going to be more of a thing too. So just know, with this heat, it can take a toll on your vehicle. If you need some auto work done, you need some help, you need a tow, AGM Automotive, they got you covered, baby. All right, they've got you covered. So make sure you follow their Facebook page too, because they're updating with some new services that they're providing everybody in our area. Whether it's towing, whether it's online shopping for some tires or mobile service and that. So they're doing some good things. They're doing some big things over there at AJM Automotive here in Eau Claire. But couple texts to catch up on for the Brewers. I think definitely this is from Sam. Sam says, I definitely think that the Brewers need to add a starting pitcher before the deadline. I don't think they're going to get Skubal. I think he either stays with the Tigers or he goes to somebody like the Dodgers, but maybe a back-end veteran starter to provide some leadership and consistency to this young group. And another texter, don't have a name, can't give you any cred, but says, I do think the Brewers are going to add both a starter and a bullpen. I don't think that they're going to bring in a bat. If anything, I think they will promote more players from their farm system to try to provide a spark to their offense. Honestly, that's kind of where I'm at too when it comes to the offense. Now, could they add like an upgrade from an infielder that could play multiple spots? I don't know if they do that over David Hamilton. I don't see it, I guess. I don't see them going out there and making a big play to bring in an offensive bat, to bring in a big bat. I don't see it. If anything, I could see it more from the promoting from the farm system, whether it's Jet Williams or whether it's somebody else. Pitching, definitely I could see them doing bullpen. Maybe another back-end high leverage arm. And then maybe we'll see if they had a starter. I agree. I don't think it's going to be Skubal. I don't. But I could see, like a 4th, 5th starter that's a veteran that you bring in to provide a little bit of leadership. Because I still don't think Brandon Woodruff's coming back this year. I hope I'm wrong, but man, if we were like to bet futures on this thing, I don't see it happening. It stinks. But a couple more texts here. Mike says, agree. I think this All-Star break is coming at a good time for this Brewers team. They've played a lot of games and a lot of doubleheaders. They just need to relax and get ready for the stretch run. Jake says, as much as I would like to see them add a power bat, I think they're going to prioritize pitching and trying to get healthier and deeper in that department. Another texter says, I think their bat that they're going to bring up is Jet Williams when he's healthy. I saw that he would have been called up if it wasn't for a wrist injury. Yeah, we highlighted that a little bit ago from Kurt Hogg, too. Yeah, Kurt Hogg said that Jet Williams was probably going to be called up, but dealing with a minor wrist injury. So maybe something to kind of keep an eye on going forward here. Maybe closer than what we originally thought just not that long ago. So, but hey, keep sending me your thoughts, comments on the Brew Crew. Okay, hit me up. Text on over to that Shoe Doctors bullpen line at 715-830-1912, or you can join in on the Section 105 chat. Coming up next hour, don't forget, Justice Cleveland will be joining us too. So we'll do some local sports roundup brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. With that, the Express. Speaking of coming out of All-Star breaks and picking up some momentum, the Eau Claire Express are running a 6-game winning streak. 6-game winning streak. And they've had a really good weekend, taking a sweep against Thunder Bay, picking up a win against La Crosse yesterday. They're going to be going up against La Crosse again tonight. But when we look at the standings, so we got to get this championship, this second half championship. They're just a half game out from first place. But the Express, riding a 6-game win streak. They're playing some really, really, really good baseball. So hopefully they can keep that momentum going up against La Crosse. They'll be back at Carson Park tomorrow taking on Minnesota. Off day Wednesday, and then Minnesota again Thursday for our next Tailgate Thursday event. Don't forget, we're going to be there tailgating around 4 p.m. right by the Hank Aaron statue. We'll have some samples of their Legends beer. Might be a good night for a cold one if it's going to be warm. Card Collecting Club's going to be there handing out free cards to kiddos. So if you got bring some kiddos to the ballpark, you get some free cards. We'll also have some games and swag to give away too. So get your game ticket and then join us for the tailgates. Tailgate Thursday coming up this Thursday, July 16th, our pregame 240. It's our second tailgate Thursday event of the season. So we'll have 2 more after this Thursday, but let's make this one the biggest and best one yet. So, again, we'll kick it off around 4 o'clock Thursday around the Hank Aaron statue. And bring the kids, because Brian from the Card Collecting Club will be there handing out some cards to kiddos. So, all right, let's take a quick break, and we're going to wrap up the third hour coming up here in just a little bit. Continue to send me, what do you think is the biggest question or questions surrounding the Brewers heading into this All-Star break? Give me your home run derby predictions for tonight. Okay, send those on over too. And continue to send me your VFW Post 305 best and worst from the weekend. What was the best of the weekend? What was the worst of the weekend for you? All right, share it with the rest of the class. We'll take our final break for the third hour and be back in just a skosh. Summer road trips create some great memories, but sometimes accidents do happen. If a fender bender puts a dent into your plans, trust the fine folks at Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire to get your vehicle looking like new again. Their experienced team provides quality collision repair and attention to detail and helps restore your vehicle and your peace of mind. When life bumps into your vehicle, count on Superior Auto Body in Eau Claire. Oh, we got a guest in studio. Might as well hop on in. We're going to talk some Eau Claire Express to wrap up the first hour. It's the GM himself. Good morning, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Not bad, dude. Not bad. So, oh man, good All-Star break for you guys, huh? Let's lead off with that. So, let's do our Eau Claire, all aboard the Eau Claire Express chats. So, yeah, let's lead off with the All-Star break, shall we? Kind of looking back at Field of Dreams. Were you able to go down there at all?
Yeah, I actually I drove the players down. So.
Did you really? Oh, nice. Yep. Well, I mean, you guys had the most players down there, so did you have to rent a bus and take them down there? So
rented a 9-passenger passenger van.
Nice. So was that your first time going to Field of Dreams too?
First time there, even though I was in Waterloo, just an hour away.
Oh, really?
When I was my first full-time job, just an hour away from there, but never went.
Nice. So what was that experience like? I saw the pictures, Jake, and it looked like it was, I mean, just a perfect setup for an All-Star game.
Yeah. You can tell they put some money into that facility.
Mm-hmm.
I think they said it's about 8,000 to 8,500 capacity.
Okay.
And I mean, the area that we got to be as front office members was a suite. So,
oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was air conditioning and everything, and it was
even better, man.
It was about 85, 86 degrees, so that was nice to be able to walk in there.
Heck yeah, dude. So, as we said, well represented. You had 6 players going down there. So, yeah. I mean, as general manager, was that pretty cool to see that it was your team that had the most players repping the squad?
Yeah, even though I had nothing to do with the roster construction, but some people, everybody kept complimenting us and like, oh yeah, you guys did a great job. And it's like, oh well. I know.
You'll take it, man, right?
Yeah, I know there was a couple people when they found out 6, they looked at me like wide-eyed, like, how'd you get that many?
Good play.
Yeah.
Right? You got good players, and you guys are playing some good baseball right now, riding a 6-game winning streak. You swept Thunder Bay. You took one against La Crosse last night, too, so you're a half game out of first place, playing some really good baseball at the right time, it seems like.
Yeah, hopefully that continues throughout the this second half, and we can get in as a second half champ or the best, that if La Crosse winds up being number 1, that person that's got the best record otherwise. Either way, as long as we can get in, right?
Exactly. So, I mean, Jake, with your first year, still underway here for the Express as general manager, how's the season been going for you, experience-wise? And I know our good buddy Brandon Berg had a great piece about you on the Chippewa Herald and such. So, I mean, hometown kind of, or home area coming in. How's the first year been going for you?
Good. It's been a lot of learning, trying to figure things out, but got a great group around me. The interns have really stepped up. A lot of support that I've gotten that has helped move it along. But no, it's been exciting, especially to some of the sizes of some of our crowds have been really good. We've hit 1,800 a couple times. 1,500 too. So those are crowds that I've not seen consistently in this league when I was in Waterloo. So it's nice to see, and just ticket usage too has been good. The one problem we've had is the weather.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, I mean, have you been on the phone with the league more times probably throughout your whole career trying to figure out, double headers and such?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure the league's ready to block my number.
But, I mean, how difficult, because there's not a lot of breathing room, right? You don't have a lot of off days to make up games. So, I mean, that's got to put some pressure on players and staff to figure out double headers.
Yeah. So typically it's go to the next time you play that team at home and make it a doubleheader, which then a lot of people don't realize that it is one. And, we start the game at 5 and people show up at 6 and they're confused why we're in the 4th inning. And that's just how it winds up being, especially when it moves to the very next day.
Right.
we did have the one where it was our scheduled doubleheader, and we rained them both out.
Yeah.
And we only played Wausau that one time at home.
Yeah.
So we had to move that to last week Monday, play at 11 o'clock due to other games at the field, and that was it was either that or we were losing the games at home altogether and playing those games as doubleheaders in Wausau.
Yeah, and that was the All-Star break too, so that was kind of like an off day for your All-Star break, right? So you had to play that Monday?
So not everybody had that day off. That was
gotcha.
one of our regularly scheduled off days,
Okay.
As well as Wausau's. So that's why it worked out to be able to still have.
Well, that was nice then.
To
yeah.
still have a home game,
Right.
But there were other teams that did play that day
Okay.
as a regularly scheduled game.
Gotcha. So it just happened to work out perfectly for both you guys.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
And then this week, I mean, you get a couple of off days coming up on Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
kind of a nice little break, especially with the weather, with the heat coming in. It might
Right.
be nice there too. So,
Right.
But you'll be back at it tomorrow at Carson Park. I'm looking forward to Thursday for our tailgate Thursday. I
Yeah.
know we're working with Park Ridge and such. We're going to be tailgating over by the Hank Aaron statue. We've got some swag, and we're going to be handing out some free baseball cards to kiddos and such. So that should be a good night.
Yeah, doing some samplings too with Park Ridge, so people will get to try our Legends Light beer that was our custom beer we went with this year. So if people haven't gotten a chance to try it, they'll get that opportunity. And
keep the can because it's a sweet can design too.
Yes,
with,
it is.
with the
It's
numbers
got-
on there.
Yeah, the Legends of Eau Claire baseball.
Yep. Exactly. So, and then kind of looking ahead too, especially that night too is also Christmas in July.
Yeah.
Weather-wise, it's going to be like the total opposite of Christmas, but that's even better,
Yeah.
right? It
Yep.
kind of gets you. You're probably going to be wishing it was Christmas weather
Right.
at that point.
Right.
So,
Yeah, I'm sure whoever decides to go all out and wear a Santa costume or something,
Right.
they're not going to be. They're going to be regretting that by about the second inning.
it might be Santa on vacation in Hawaii kind of theme.
True, we do still have some Hawaiian shirts left for Margaritaville night if people.
There you go. Right. So, you got that coming up, but you're back at home tomorrow. You got anything fun planned for tomorrow too?
Yeah, tomorrow is Princesses and Superheroes.
Oh, that's always
night.
a popular one. Yeah.
So we're encouraging people to dress up.
Yep.
And be a part of that. But nothing too crazy other than that. Tomorrow, there is For the Hobbies also giving out some cards at the gate as well.
Nice.
So yeah, got a couple things tomorrow, and then the tailgate with Christmas in July on Thursday, and then play on Sunday as well. That's Teacher Appreciation Night.
Okay.
So any teacher can get in for free.
Nice.
My mom's a teacher.
So that's even
Craig's
special.
wife's a teacher, so there's some teacher connections that we're like, we should honor teachers.
Yep.
And then after that, we're off for like 10 days.
That's right. Yeah, looking at the schedule, and I've got it up here too. Should also note, because I know one of the rain out ones was your Cancer Survivor Night, and that's going to be coming up towards the end of the month, and I know that's a very popular night too. So that'll be July 28th. Put it on your calendars for coming up here too. So what is maybe, kind of, if you can, just to kind of start to wrap it up here, looking at how the games, how the schedule, how the season has been played out. I know you guys the Major League Baseball just had to draft, so you had alum getting back or getting drafted and such. But looking at the competition, would you say it's pretty tight for a lot of teams? I mean, when you look at where your division's at, you're half game outs. You guys have been playing really good, but you've got Rochester's up there and such. Would you say it's a pretty close battle?
Yeah, I mean, even if you look at how the first half finished, we were still in the running to win the first half with, I think it was 3 or 4 games left, and we wound up in third.
Right.
And the team that took last was not too far behind us.
Yeah.
So if that continues and the second half ends up looking the same, it'll be another. We could be going into that last weekend in August, and we could be looking at playoffs, or we could be looking at being out. But that makes it fun. Makes every game matter.
Right. And it's getting to that tricky time too, because school's going to be starting, and players probably got to start to return to college too, or in their school. So that's the other competitive thing to try to balance between that.
Yep. I mean, we even a couple of our all-stars, all-star game was their last day.
Yeah.
So that Yeah, it'll start.
That's life in the Northwoods League, though,
Oh,
right?
definitely. Yeah, as soon as you think you've got a team secured, all of a sudden you've got 3 guys leaving.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. So, kind of look. Can you believe you're less than a month then the regular season is over with?
Yeah, it's kind of
Less
crazy.
than a month, dude. Hopefully we're
crazy.
still talking, though, because of postseason play
Right.
in that. But has anything kind of surprised you? Maybe that you at least, first year as general manager, like, oh, man, I didn't expect that, or like a pleasant surprise maybe, or anything like that?
I guess just like I always kind of say in this industry is you're never prepared.
Yeah, that's a good way to go about it, yeah.
And so what surprised me has been all the stuff that just came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I expected that to happen. It's happened a lot.
Right, yeah, definitely. All right, so to wrap it up, I always like to plug this. Best way to get tickets for the Express, like especially for our Tailgate Thursday or any other home game. We don't want to go to the secondary markets, right? We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
We want to go right to the Express.
Yeah, make sure you're on the official Northwoods League website.
Mm-hmm.
If you type in Eau Claire Express tickets, there's probably going to be 2 or 3 links before the actual website.
Yeah,
that are going to be 10 times more expensive.
exactly.
So make sure you're on the official Eau Claire Express Northwoods League website, or give us a call.
All right. And then swag, too. Make sure when you're at the game, check out the swag tent because
We
got
there were some new styles that came in over this past week or so.
Don't tell my kid that when he's over Thursday. No, well, that's always the first stop to go in there and check that out. So, yeah, you guys got some cool stuff in there. There's no question about it. So, Jake, looking forward to Thursday, man.
Yeah,
I'm
me as well.
excited. So, Tailgate Thursday. It's the day before I turn 42. So, it's gonna be a fun night. It's gonna be a fun night.
Good,
So,
good.
Congrats on so far a great season and keep it up, man.
Yeah.
This has been a fun season to follow too. So.
I agree. Thank you.
You got it. All right. We got to take a quick break. Justice Cleveland's going to be joining us coming up here in just a couple of minutes. So we'll get to him coming up after these quick words. All right, final hour kicking off right now on this Monday morning. Big thanks to Jake from the Eau Claire Express for stopping by for our Express update chat. So if you missed that conversation or any portion of our Express chats, they are available on the All Aboard the Eau Claire Express podcast. We move from Jake to the mystery, the man, the myth, the legendary Justice Cleveland.
The aloof.
Sports director extraordinaire for WEAU 13 News. How you doing, man?
Good. It's nice to be back. It's good that the schedule worked out. The schedule right now is being run by my kids.
Yes, I can fully appreciate that.
And anybody who has kids and activities knows around 9 o'clock tends to be when you're running them somewhere. And so it's nice to be that there's a little hole in the schedule. They make the schedule, and they allowed me to come on over here and talk to you today.
Well, we appreciate it. Tell the kids thank you for me.
Oh, no problem.
But definitely good timing, too, because we're in the All-Star break for the Brewers. I want to talk some Brewers. Can you believe we're 2 weeks away from training camp? Opening up for Green Bay, too.
I looked at the calendar today, and I'm like, it's middle of July.
Yeah.
How is it already the middle? I feel like it was just the end of June. I feel like it was just the end of May. Like you just
got done with prep baseball playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, everything just flies by in the summer because I think you're just trying to hold on to it so much, especially when you get older. And that's one thing. If you're younger out there listening, these summers will just get faster. When you were a kid, it felt like summer lasted forever.
Yep.
Now it's like it's already over, isn't it?
It got to a point I think elementary, middle school when school started. You're like, okay, yeah, kind of time, because it felt like it went on for a long time and. No, it goes by too quick.
So if you're a kid out there listening, take advantage of it. Live this time, because when you get older, it goes shorter and shorter, and there's less time to enjoy it. Know
that you are in the good times right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's tell you what. Let's do just kind of let's transition from the Express and do some local sports roundup, brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. So we were just talking with Jake. Express running a 6-game winning streak right now, which is, they're playing some really good baseball. They've put themselves in a really good spot to win that second half championship here. So, is kind of all the above, right? They're putting up some runs. They've been getting some really good pitching. It's going to be interesting now, though, too, as Jake alluded to. Some guys are starting to go back to school. So that's always the tricky part in the second half here.
Oh, it really is. And we've seen that, and that's almost something you have to plan for. And, as you get closer to the even the playoffs, we've seen it where, you have pitchers playing positions.
Yeah.
You just kind of start running out of players. But this Express team, I think, has been the best balance that I've seen for an Express team in a while. I think they had the hitting the last few years. The pitching kind of hasn't been there as much.
Yep.
I think this year you watch that pitching staff, and the fact that not only are the pitching staff's been performing well, is that they've been getting that timely hitting. They've been able to make those comebacks. They've had those big innings too.
Yep.
So this has been a really fun team to watch. And Rochester got out of the gates so well. I think they were 6-0 at one point.
Yeah.
So if you're the Express, you're like, okay, you just got to keep doing what you're doing. And now they're working their way back up there towards the top. And, I think this is a team that really is going to be able to battle for that second half title.
Yeah. And staying with baseball, I know we had some Express players getting drafted, but also some local kids. Cole, they're getting drafted, which is pretty cool. Was it 6th round?
6th round for him, and then Dylan O'Connell also getting drafted, Memorial kid. So you got a Regis Memorial kid that get drafted. Both former Express players as well, and both Legion baseball players too.
Yep.
Selvig, I think you kind of had this feeling this was going to happen from a young age. Just watching how he pitched and his presence on the mound. And then when he was with Regis helping them to a state title there, he's had that feeling of this is a kid who can go far and has always, worked at it so hard to get there. And it's awesome to see him get drafted now. He's a junior, so he's got that choice of either going back to Minnesota or getting redrafted again. But 6th round, that's going to be a tough decision because that's a tough to maybe pass up a chance to go to the majors. But congratulations to Cole and his family. It's awesome to see this opportunity come and see how far he can take it. And from my recollection, I'm trying to think. Now, Dalton Roach was probably the last pitcher taken. So we had Dalton Roach. And then before that, Kyle Cody.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Those are the three. But and then Dylan O'Connell just been working at it. He's another one of those guys you just never stops working. And to see him, he was a big part of that Milwaukee team this year. Now he's going to be part of the Gophers. So there's potential for him and Selvig to be teammates this upcoming season. But he put up some monster numbers down there in Milwaukee, and a good chance for him. He's probably the first position player, and if I'm missing it, I apologize, that from our area that I remember getting drafted in a while. Like, I don't know if there's been one. I mean, Alex Call got drafted, if you think it down River Falls, but from the
the kid from Hudson, Jace, just got third round over
but
the weekend.
For the Eau Claire area here itself as a position player. I mean, that's awesome to see, and again, it tells you how good baseball is around here.
Yep.
And we've seen that just from every level, and how much opportunity you have to play if you want to play around here, and it's paying dividends for these kids.
It is. And the Jace, how do you pronounce his last name?
Oh boy, don't even.
Okay, but 18-year-old getting drafted third round by the Red Sox. Now that's pretty, as an 18-year-old, to think about that.
Yeah, and I got to watch him pitch, and you can see it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that the future's bright for him, and we'll see what he decides to do as well, if he goes right into baseball, or if he decides that he wants to play some college. But it's nice to have those avenues open, and if you're at 18 and you're on the radar, you're going to continue to be on that radar.
Exactly. So congrats to everybody. That's a cool thing to see that. And then you think about it too for baseball. Like, you're right, a lot of us played Little League. I always say baseball is probably the first organized team sport a lot of kids play.
Right. Started with T-ball.
Right.
Yeah. So
and to see them stick through it and then I don't care what round, the fact that you got drafted by a major league team, any team, has got to be one of the coolest feelings in the world. Yeah,
and I didn't throw out Dalton Varshow's from Marshfield. Played for the Express, so it almost feels like he's from Eau Claire because of the Varshow family. But Dalton is a position player, obviously, who got drafted.
Okay.
Yeah, he can play catcher and center field.
Yeah. And a Gold Glove worthy type of performance. I mean, he's okay.
He's fine. But it's really been cool for me in my almost 16 years here to see the talent that's come around and went to that next level.
Yeah. So you mentioned Legion. I know we had the River City Classic this past weekend, and Eau Claire sweep it. The 30th anniversary. So again, that's another program that just continues to play high-level baseball.
We were talking about this in the office, and it's like, no matter what kind of regular season the high school teams have, it seems like when they get together on that Legion team, there's something about putting on that Legion uniform that these guys just take it up to another level and can play at another level. There's so much talent going around, and to see them do what they've done so far, only a couple losses on the season. They've been playing some really good baseball, and they got another week of regular season here before they'll start regionals. I know 16 and 17U start regionals this week too. So we are, again, we're blessed for so much talent, and to watch that Legion team go out there and just play some dominant baseball. I got to see them on the 4th of July game too, and they are a great collection, and they're deep. It's not just the guys that are out there. They have good guys, guys that can step in, because it's Legion. So you're having guys, it's summer. So you're not having everybody for every game a lot of the time, but the ability to have these guys step in and they don't lose anything. So to me, that's why it looks like this team's going to go far.
Right. And I know to kind of wrap it up here too, the Axemen were in action as well. They did fall to Nebraska on Saturday at the Sod and Take Center too. So
another game against, I think they're on the road at the Iowa Woo this week. So see what they can do. Try to get one on there, get one on the board here before the season ends.
Yep. And CRBL is not quite to the playoffs yet.
No, right? They got one more week here. I think it's a week and a half, and then the wild card, I think, is next Wednesday.
Okay.
So getting close though too.
Well, football practice is gonna be starting here soon, isn't it?
Why are you doing this?
just throwing it out there in case you forgot.
It's not August yet. I haven't taken my trip to North Dakota because that's
kind of the time frame, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the last week of July, and then get back in August. And
well, speaking of North Dakota, Stanley basketball kiddo,
Charlie Hole, going to NDSU.
Yep, Division I, baby.
I know Noah Feddersen from Menominee played there. So yeah, I think that's been a kind of a good, they recruit very well in this area. Does NDSU.
Like football, too, not just that. But
exactly. That's what I was. So you look at it, they know of the athletic talent around here. And to have for a D1 team, to look at these guys and say, okay, you can come here and play. Who will put up some great numbers? You know, it was like almost a double a game as a junior, come into his senior year, and he'll still, you know, he's going to put up bigger numbers this year. So congratulations to him. I think that's a great opportunity in a program, you know, that made the NCAA tournament this past year. Got knocked off by Michigan State in the first round, but there was a lot of people that were picking them to upset Michigan State in that game. So that just shows you that this, the parity, but you get a chance there. You're going to make some noise with a D1 program.
Absolutely. All right, that's your local sports roundup, brought to you by Carpet City Flooring Center. Let's take a quick break and let's get back to some more Brewers baseball chats. We'll be right back in just a couple minutes. It's All-Star break time in Major League Baseball, and maybe coming at the right time for the Brewers after getting swept by the Pirates this past. Why does it feel like it's always the Pirates right before the All-Star break too?
Yeah. I mean, I can think back to like 98 or something, or 99, like some season where they were off to a decent start, then got swept by the Pirates and then stunk in the second half. Like it just lingers in my brain. Like the Pirates are just that team that they always.
It was like a few years ago they got swept in a 5-game series against the Pirates because they had a doubleheader. It was a mess, and it's like, ugh. But it feels like this is a team that, Brewers-wise, I mean, they did take 4 out of 5 against the Cardinals right before. I just think they just need a break.
I think, I guess if you would say, hey, they went on the road and played 500 baseball their last 2 series, you'll take it that way. It's because you won so many straight with the Cardinals and lose that last one and then lose the next 3.
Yeah,
it kind of ruins that feeling of, hey, we finished 500 on the road.
Yep.
And you lost 2 games to the Cubs, 1 game, something like that, like
2 games.
2 games.
Yeah, so they swept and then they dropped that series. So
they're 5 games ahead going into the All-Star break. I think you would take that. You'd love to have gotten maybe that 60th win. Yeah, just to have that
nice
that
little
even
benchmark
number right there before. But not a team I worry about because other than yesterday's game, they were pretty close in those 2 other previous games. So
it just was gas on the fire, and I think that's the disappointing thing to see Robert Gasser after coming off of maybe one of his best starts, if not the best start of his career, maybe looking like the guy that we saw a couple years ago, and not a great day from him yesterday, giving up the 7 earned runs.
No. So here's my silver lining.
I like how you just set that
Cy
up.
Young, Bryce Wilson.
Oh, God.
is back. Goes 3 innings, only gives up 2 hits, no earned runs. Start the campaign again.
Oh, gosh.
He was the first. I was saying Bryce Wilson walked so Ashby could run. Remember because Wilson went 6-0 that one year with like a 2-point-something ERA, and I was just jokingly would say, why is this guy not in the Cy Young? So, I'm kidding, but it was, I mean, you look at the
You and Brandon need to start a Bryce Wilson fan group chat or something.
Yeah, I was like, but I'm like, oh, hey, I don't mind bringing him back because the Brewers. It's funny because they just know something about these pitchers.
Yep.
That to me, that's the credit to the front office of this team, is that they're able to see something in these guys that other organizations are missing. Not just the pitching, Andrew Vaughn, and hitting too. They can see something and like, okay, this guy.
It's almost like, do they keep things simple for some of these?
Right.
Like the pitching aspect.
Or is it like a Moneyball thing where they're just like, there's a lot of division going in flow charts here. But either way, I mean, I think. You worry a little bit after the loss. Not the way you want to go into the All-Star break, but it's good to have that break after a really bad loss like that.
Yeah.
Koenig, I mean, I don't know who had the worst day. I think Koenig might have had the worst day.
Yeah, that's true.
Can't get an out.
Yeah. I mean,
so.
And, obviously the Miz thing, when you hear that, he's got fatigue and he's not even going to probably play in that first series back against the Marlins. But I think that's probably the right approach here. And maybe you look at those last couple games, he gave up a couple runs, but he's been used a lot.
Yeah.
I think this is smart. Hey, we're just going to give him a little bit because you need him in October.
Yeah. And you don't want him to lose it mentally.
Right.
You don't want that doubt to creep in because I think he's a guy that you need to have at that 100%. I can strike every guy out if I have to mentality.
Yep.
And, if the slider's not working a little bit, and that's, it's the off-speed stuff's really kind of been where he's getting in trouble. Give him a chance. Let him rest through the break. Give him a few extra days there. Yep. Did they say they're holding him out from pitching or not?
They said probably he's going to start throwing again tomorrow. They said on Tuesday, but probably not going to be going.
They're not going to. Yeah, then he's not going to.
Yeah,
pitch.
Not against the Marlins. So
yeah, I'm fine with that. And again, it gives you a little bit of pause. But if you would have asked me 4 days ago, when they were just coming off a big, almost 5-game, 4 out of 5 over the Cardinals, I would say, well, this team's looking like the best team in baseball.
Right.
Which they, were right there.
Yep.
So I think this break will be good.
I do too.
And you've got bats that are starting to hit. Joey Ortiz has all of a sudden finally come back to life.
It's that third base magic.
Right. Exactly. So I think there's there's plenty to be upbeat about. I think Yelich can use the time off,
Mm-hmm.
and I think if he can get back to where, not that he's been horrible. I don't think he's been horrible by any means, but just kind of getting back to getting a little more pop into the bat there. And
It seems like just kind of reading between the lines from Murphy that maybe Yelich is just putting too much pressure on himself.
yeah, I think he does.
Yeah.
And he's talked about that. He's like, he's the veteran. He knows he's the guy who's kind of got to set the tone out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a break will be good for him. We'd love to see Sal Frelick get the bat going a little bit more. I mean, obviously,
When you hit a home run with Sal Frelick, you better win that game, and they didn't do that. That was a disappointment. when Salvatore hits you a home run, you better come away with a W.
and not that Sal can't hit. We know that he can. It's just been a little slow at times for him, but the defense, obviously, his above replacement is right there because the runs that he takes away are amazing.
Yeah,
So-
he's so much fun to watch. That's why he's the GOAT. So.
Right. And this whole team, I mean, you got two guys that have come up straight from AAA and made noise right away, too.
Yep.
So it's just, I love watching this Brewers team because it's always a work in progress. I don't think there's a solid of this is what we have. It's always like, well, that's not working. Call Cooper Pratt up and see if he'll, get a spark there. So Lara comes in, a little bit of spark there. Why not, keep it going here? Obviously, your biggest fear is going to be the bats once they get to the postseason. And can these arms stay healthy? That's been the other fear, I think, a little bit because you've seen, obviously, Miz with a little fatigue and Woody just can't keep it going for more than a couple games before something comes up and bites in.
Oh, that's what I was just going to ask is I don't know if we're going to see Woody pitch again.
It's so tough.
For the Brewers this year at least. I'm more concerned about just mentally he's done everything he possibly can.
Yeah.
And all the rehab and the frustrating part for him is just when he's out there healthy, he looks good.
Oh, those first two starts, he gave up 2 hits and 13 innings pitched? No one does that.
Right.
That's unheard of to come back like that. And then it just, then you hear it and it's like, oh no. And it's almost like you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like he goes out there and it's just not there.
Yep.
It's gone. And he's trying whatever he can. But once he loses that velocity, it's really tough for him to he's not Greg Maddux. He's not able to really paint those lines and throw that off-speed stuff.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know what the future's like. I know people are like, we'll just make him an inning or two, but it's not that simple. If he's got to go through another year-long rehab, if he has to have surgery again, you just kind of wonder from a mental side, do I want to go through this again?
And if you look at his numbers, they're great.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, it's a guy who's had a 10-year career, and those numbers come up for a guy who's probably, pitched half that.
Yeah.
Just because he just hasn't been able to stay out there. And
Yep.
gosh, he keeps coming back. He wants to pitch for this team.
Yep.
He wants to help this team out. And you could see it when he, the emotion, especially after, was it 2 years ago when he had to miss? You could see it in his eyes.
Yeah.
He thought maybe it was over.
Yep.
So I hope he gets a shot because this is a guy who I think has been so loyal to the Brewers, and the Brewers are going to be loyal to him.
And it was, what was he always saying in spring training? It's not about opening day. It's about making sure I'm healthy for October. And,
Right.
and it's like, oh gosh, what are we doing?
They need him too. They really do. I think you need, the Miz is obviously your one, but man, having him there is that 2. And not to knock the other guys who have pitched well, but it's kind of been the same thing. Everybody's kind of here and there, but no, it's never been a complete staff because somebody's been dinged up the whole time.
Yep. All right, we got to take a quick break, but back with plenty more after these few words. Hey, since this is the first time I've gotten to talk to you since it all went down, Giannis, Bucks, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, boxing, fighting, whatever the heck's going on.
They're just brothers hitting each other.
Yeah,
former teammates just getting into a
rough housing.
Yeah. In Vegas, late at night.
Right. In a hotel court, basketball court, or wherever. That's.
I hope more. Kind of want to hear what really caused this all.
I know.
And Shams had a little bit of it, but it's
so does Tyler Hero have a burner account that everybody knows is Tyler Hero's burner account or something? Because it says like social media posts about Bam Adebayo criticizing him. I'm like, well, that's kind of ballsy if you do that. Like, I don't follow him, so I don't know.
Does every NBA player have a burner account?
KD does.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, is this just like what they do when they're in the plane? They're like,
it's a rite of passage, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but man, it's just ridiculous.
What a start to the new era of Bucks basketball.
Yep. And then you got some potential, not collusion, but the whole Gary Trent contract, where a lot of people are like, okay, wait a minute here, was this like a handshake? From his other contracts, like, hey, we'll pay you your value later on.
Right.
But from a salary cap thing, can we just, get you cheap now? To where now there's like, oh, NBA's going to investigate that now. So it's like, what are we flipping doing here? I mean, for crying out loud. I
mean, I look at the Giannis thing, it was going to happen this year.
Mm-hmm.
You got good value. You got more than you would have gotten from the Celtics.
Yep.
Jaylen Brown wasn't going to go to the Bucks to lose.
You would have had to flip that one right away.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think you saved yourself a headache in that matter as well.
Yep.
The two guys they got have looked good in Summer League. I mean, it's Summer League. Take what you will with that. It's going to be a long process.
Yep.
It's going to be – this team probably wins – I think they'd be happy to win 25 games. I mean, I feel like is that pessimistic? Does that team look like a team that can finish right now around 500?
No.
I don't think they are. So you're going to have some growing pains. You're going to have some draft picks. You're going to – So
I think Tyler Hero gets traded by the deadline. I think they open the season with him, cash in on some money because he's a local kid, sell some jerseys.
Yeah.
Sell some game tickets to see him on the home court, and things are going to go really bad, and they're going to flip him.
Unless they have some system that we don't, and they can find this team, and all of a sudden, there's obviously guys who can score. They have a lot of guys who can score like 15 to 17 points. Like, that's their Tyler Hero obviously has had years where he's averaged decent amount of points, but this is going to be the first time I think he's really been asked to carry.
Be the guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if that
and those
fits.
other guys around that are higher salary, how long do they last? Kyle Kuzma. Like, there's a lot of these guys.
Keep forgetting about Kuzma still on there.
But does anybody want that salary?
Nope.
Does anybody want? I mean, they got rid of the guys they could because they were on they were on their last years.
Yep.
So it's going to be a mess. Ownership wise, I think is kind of a mess now too.
Yep.
Haslam, let's see what he like. That I don't know. I don't know if I like his direction, and when he took over the majority stake in that team.
Yeah.
It made me worry.
And then you start to find out more of the influence he is having.
Right.
I don't feel good about that.
It's not like the guys had the Midas touch.
No.
Yeah. So it's one of those like, okay, what is the direction? And now there's, people are like, well, there's a team. I don't think the team's moving.
No.
I don't think you build a Pfizer forum and
the
team moves within 10, 15 years of that. But a lot of questions going in. We haven't been into this situation, I feel like, as anybody who's covered the Bucks or been a Bucks fan. You go back to like pre-Giannis times, and that's where we're at now.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're hoping that you can sniff the playoffs.
Well, maybe not even this year. I want a high pick. That's the
Yeah.
other part, but that might even change now with the lottery. So
Right.
How
exactly.
those rules are changing.
Do they luck into hey, we got somebody who's like, you can only, no one gets the Spurs luck.
Yeah.
Where you go Robinson, Tim Duncan, and now Wemby.
Well, it's like then David Robinson's hurt that year, so then they get the one pick for Tim Duncan, and it's like, oh, how'd that work out? So
Right, exactly. So I don't know if that, I hope that, I would love to see the Bucks successful. I'm not going to ever wish them not to be successful. I just think it's going to be, you're going to tread water here for a while before it's going to be anywhere back to where it was
I agree.
championship caliber team.
You know, as somebody who has witnessed a bad breakup between a star player and a franchise before, did this one, do you think, kind of go as good as it possibly could have gone? I mean, you had Giannis do the sit-down with Jim Paschke for 30-some minutes, and, I mean, no animosity, it sounds like, from Giannis whatsoever. In fact, I mean, I thought he was pretty open by saying, I'm scared, you know, that the grass isn't always greener. And, you know, Milwaukee has given him privacy and such, and has said, kind of indicated too, he wouldn't mind coming back at the end of his career, like KG with the Timberwolves used. Did it go as best as it possibly could, given like how many years we've been talking about these rumors?
Yeah, I think that last year probably could have been handled better from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was probably not a lot of being told truthfully from either side about what was really going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of denying that there was any.
Well, I didn't talk to him for, you know, this. Well, yeah, we did here, and it's just
you kept hearing different parts coming out. So that side, I think, but as obviously with let's go Rodgers, better than the Rodgers situation.
Yep.
Favre 100% better than the Favre situation. I mean, again, that situation was unique, whereas Favre also retired.
Yep.
When you have an Aaron Rodgers in the waiting, it's such a the Bucs didn't have that situation where they had somebody who's going to be that next star.
Right. Yeah. If Green Bay didn't have a Rodgers, or if their next option was a Craig Null or even a rookie for that year, Favre would have been back with Green Bay.
Exactly. There was no way they would have been saying, "Hey, have fun on retirement." So, but yeah, I mean, it's never fun to witness these kind of the breakups in these big time MVP players leaving.
Yep.
But now, you know, it's the third time I've got to be part of the sports media when that's happened, and this one by far was probably the least amount of drama. I mean, there was a lot of drama, but
leading up to it felt just because you didn't know. Like, Giannis wasn't doing a lot of talking, and then you hear
Shams would have his report every 2 weeks just to keep the story alive. I felt at times.
Yep.
I feel like they wanted more drama, like the media or like the big time ESPN's like, let's get more drama out of this.
Yep.
Where I just don't think it was as drama filled as it was. I think it was just a guy who wasn't sure if he wanted to be with the Bucs through a rebuild,
right,
or is it time to move on?
Yep. I mean, I don't watch it, obviously, but I'm assuming, you know, staying with the drama stuff, that they're talking about LeBron and where he's going this morning.
Right.
So, I mean, that's
kind of, I mean, that might have actually played a big part in this not being as huge as it would if LeBron stays with the Lakers and there's really no, like, Giannis is easily the biggest story.
Right.
But LeBron's still the biggest player in the NBA. He's arguably the greatest player of all time in the NBA. Yeah, he's going to be the bigger story than obviously Giannis, who's at one point, and I'm not saying he's still not. I don't know if he is. He's not the best player in the NBA now,
right?
But was for a few years there. So
yeah. It stinks. I think I don't know if you'd kind of went the same way, but I almost approach it now from a dad side. It stinks for the young fans because, you know, Giannis, my kid, big Giannis fan, on his favorite team, and he's like, Dad, you know. And then he doesn't understand. He's like, well, they should have gotten, you know, when we were talking about Celtics, it should be Tatum. You know, they don't comprehend that. They don't understand really what's going on,
right?
Why this is happening, and that's the sucky part, is because, you know, I was like, well, Dad, I can't wear my Giannis jersey anymore, and all that stuff.
Give it a year or two. Let's throw back.
Yeah,
it'll be retro.
And that's nothing really. When we were younger, we didn't see a lot of these players, you know, whether I know NFL didn't have free agency until the early 90s, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have trades or that. It's just
the hired gun part didn't happen a lot.
Yeah,
I think Dion might have been
that's actually a good
about as close as we had back then, because he was at the Falcons. I can't remember if it was the 49ers or the Dallas first.
49ers first for 1 year, and then Dallas.
So we didn't see that.
You're right.
In our day, there was a few guys, and then like T.O. kind of floated around. But yeah, we didn't have, especially like a quarterback.
Yeah.
You didn't see that at all.
Well, even like 90s basketball or 80s basketball, barely saw it. I think one of my first ones Barkley maybe, was kind of the first one, whether it was 76ers Suns, then the Rockets, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. The guys were locked in, and they weren't, you know, I think having the avenues now to basically ask out though too, and teams not wanting to put up with headaches. I mean, even Westbrook can go there, but just everybody from those old Thunder team at some point have basically asked out of where they're playing for.
Yeah.
When things James Harden might be the biggest. Harden's been everywhere.
Yeah.
He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but you look back on that career, it's like, how did this guy play for 7-8 teams?
This is where I still will go and give one of the many ways I give Jordan the advantage. Like, people will say, well, he played for the Wizards were crappy when he came out to play for them.
And
he was like president, owner. He was trying to make them relevant. He didn't join this team that was poised to win a championship and just ride the coattails of that
by
thing.
any means. There was not a lot of there for him to go play with.
Right. And so can't even say, well, he played on the Wizards. He didn't play. The Wizards team wasn't good.
Right.
Rip Hamilton was still early in his career. I think Stackhouse was on there for a hot minute or something like that. But, I mean, for crying out loud, Kwame Brown.
He would have been a Bull for life.
Yep.
Like, he would have played another, and if it wasn't for the ownership and Jerry Krause and Reinsdorf just kind of not wanting to pay him.
If Phil would have been there.
Right.
They wanted to move on from Phil and bring in Tim Floyd.
Right.
If Phil was there, Jordan was going to be there.
So, I mean, that was an all-time fumble, really.
You know, we never talk about that as a what if.
Yeah.
What if Phil had stayed for 2 more years? And Jordan probably stays 2 more. Do they win 2 more?
Right.
Do they win 1 more?
They probably lose Scottie Pippen because they're not going to be able to afford both of those contracts.
Yeah.
But they would have a chance to, with Jordan there, you're going to have a thance. And they're going to find guys that would have been lining up to play with him.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a big what if. Like, what if he plays for another 5 years there?
Yeah.
Do they get at least 1 more title? He's going to push for it. I mean, he's the ultimate competitor. So if he would have been there.
Because think about it. Who were the teams after the Bulls that won the championship?
The Lakers kind of.
They were early 2000s.
Right. So who was in between the.
Well, let me bring it up. Because I know it was a strike-shortened season, so the Spurs won it against the Knicks.
Right, so you had Spurs were making their little run, their early run.
Yep.
And then the Lakers, didn't take too long for them to...
Yeah, it was Spurs, and then Lakers. I always forget that strike season.
Yeah.
Because it was right after after the Bulls. So you're right. I mean, it was Spurs, Lakers, Spurs, and then the famous Pistons-Lakers series. Karl Malone and Gary Payton for the Lakers.
Yeah, trying to get that going. Higher guns, trying to get that title.
Yeah.
Because then
Phil and Jordan, I think they would have at least got 1 more.
Right, because what's the Lakers...
Especially on a strike-shortened season.
What's the Lakers' fortunes? Who ends up... Does Del Harris... I think it was Del Harris might have been the coach of the Lakers before Phil.
Before Phil, I think you're right. Yeah.
Like, what happens with the Lakers if...
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of questions that could have been, that's a big what if. That would be a fun one to really kind of figure out what would have happened.
It actually, no, wait.
Well, Kurt Rambis?
Kurt Rambis.
Yes,
yep.
Okay. I was going to say, I remember Rambis being there, too.
And then Bill Burtka for 1 game. 1-0. So.
Hey! It's like my interim youth league soccer record. 2-0. Can't touch it.
All right, we got to take a quick break. As we start to wrap up things, we'll be right back in just a few minutes. Well, we don't have any baseball games to pick in our final segment because, again, we are on the All-Star break. So, with that being said, we do have the Home Run Derby tonight. Schwarber, Harper, at Phillies Park. I'm going to go Schwarber.
I got to go Schwarber. I mean, the guy's having an all-world season already.
Mm-hmm. In his park, I mean, come on, it's set up for him.
Yeah.
Which means
Harper
he
would
won't
be
win.
the other one.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually, I think, a pretty good crop. You know, maybe not the biggest home run or name power. Like, there's no Judge, there's no Ohtani
Right.
or anything like that. But I think overall the field is pretty good. I mean, you got the rookie from the White Sox, you know, the young Babe Ruth, as they like to call him, Junior Caminero, Jordan Walker, Caglione, Ben Rice, Wilson Contreras, boo. So that's not bad.
I can't get away from Wilson Contreras. Like, every time I look on like anything, it's like Wilson Contreras this, Wilson. Like that man has made more headlines in a half of the season than words that William has spoke his whole career.
Yeah. Does this mean like his younger brother's going to eventually be like this when he gets that age? Or I hope not.
I think you could definitely see there's a complete different personalities between those two. Usually it's the younger one that's the more feisty,
hot-headed. Yeah.
But Wilson's been just everywhere this year. And the Red Sox love it. I think Red Sox fans are kind of hot-headed.
It's probably given reminders of the early 2000s teams.
Right, exactly.
You know? But
yeah, there's almost a brawl for a guy who sticks his arm out into every pitch.
Yeah.
And he gets mad that he gets hit.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened with the Brewers. It's like, oh, I got hit. Like, yeah, you're getting hit because you're crowding the plate and sticking your arm out, Craig Biggio.
And I think that it wasn't even a clear hit right away. You know, It wasn't like he completely plunked. I think there was people confused. Like, I think Woodruff was the pitcher.
Yeah.
And Woodruff even asked, did it hit him? Because they didn't even know.
Oh, Woody's hit him too many times.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Dorn. This guy pitches you inside, right? Like, that's how Wilson was. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like he's just been everywhere so far.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, but have you been following World Cup at all a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I watched the Norway-England game, and that was, what a contest.
Yeah.
And I watched the
Argentina
matchup there, that second one.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, what a contest. I mean, you lose a guy and you're just battling back, trying to hold on. And they held on for so long with that 1-1. But then Argentina, I mean, you break through.
Yeah.
It was going to happen. It was just like a ticking time bomb. If they could have made it to a shootout, they would have had a chance. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I think it's one of those things that it's really nice to have an event like a month long like this where you can throw it on and just, it's kind of background.
Yep.
But it's great to like, just like, okay, I'm doing something, look up. I mean, that's what I love golf because I can do stuff. Baseball's kind of the same way. NFL, you don't really do that.
Yeah.
But with like soccer, obviously you'll miss a goal if you
you can kind of tell from the announcers if something big's about to happen, like a breakaway or something. So
I think it's really going to help the sport. It's already growing a ton in the United States, but I think people are now realizing worldwide, like they're seeing this worldwide product more than they ever have.
Yep.
And they're seeing just the drama that goes into it, and they're relatively short. It's an hour and a half, hour 45, and 2 hours, your time commitment's not that big unless, it goes to extra time and shootouts. But so I think it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. So our next game is going to be tomorrow with France and Spain in action. Then England and Argentina is going to be in action on Wednesday. So, and then the World Cup final will be on Sunday. Is that the 19th?
Yes.
Yes. Because the third place game is the 18th.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's been a success. I think it's also shown a lot of the world have come here and enjoyed America. Like
ranch dressing.
Ranch dressing, yes. I was a big Norway fan. I loved that team. That was just a fun team.
They seem to be like the fan favorite. You always see a team that kind of just like gets everybody, and it seemed like that was Norway.
Yeah,
so.
I think they were under, like they weren't qualified that well.
Yeah,
but they made a run.
Kind of like Team Italy in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah,
a little bit.
You just get this team that kind of everybody embraces a little bit. So, I mean, England's got so much. It would be such a huge thing for them to win.
Mm-hmm.
France is just a machine. If you've watched any of their matches, France is just built like you don't see teams like that. So I think France is the favorite. But
you got Messi with Argentina.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he was still as skilled as ever. It's just a surgeon with the ball when he's slicing through there. It's amazing to see. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's France taking it all, but I don't know. It'll be fun to watch what happens here these next 3 games.
I think whatever matchup we get, it's going to be a good
It's the
one.
top 4 teams. It's the first time ever that the top 4 teams have made it to the semifinals.
Yeah.
So you're getting quality no matter what.
Yep, I agree. So, all right, we only got about a minute left here, so don't have Brewers games again. Take the week off until Friday when we preview it. So
yeah.
Otherwise, go to an Express game. It's going to be hot, but
so is the product on the field.
Look at that. Hire Justice for your marketing.
Oh, they got plenty of good people over there doing marketing. Yeah, go see the Express. They've been a lot of fun to watch this year, and just they keep battling for that second half title. Love to see them get back to the postseason here.
Yep, absolutely. I bet you they're liking with the Heat too, maybe in the shade of the new dugouts. So like the bullpen
those
guys.
new dugouts have to be. They've got to be loving those. Those look so much. You can actually have everybody in the dugout where it used to be. You had like 4 players on the end that couldn't fit in there because it was so cramped. So
yeah, but all right, dude. Thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
Good hanging
Thanks
with
for having
you.
me. It's great to be
Always love
back.
chatting with you. So, you gonna hit the golf course anytime soon?
I hit over the weekend. I did a 36 holes on Saturday.
Oh, God.
Because I was there at 7 in the morning, and then I went back at 6:30 at night. And
Nice. Got the
melted
nice space.
away, let's just say.
All right. Have a good rest of the day, everybody. We'll be back at it again tomorrow morning, 6 a.m., TDS Sports Talk Studios. We'll chat with you all then.